Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Jenna X. I have a special guest with me tonight. I have Crypto Seth. You may have seen him on Crypto Gem Hunters, but also he has like 15,000 YouTube subscribers and 100 Patreons just blowing up. And I always see him trolling normie tokens on X, and I love it. I just love your shit talking. Welcome, Crypto Seth. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. I appreciate you for having me here today.
Absolutely, my fellow Degen. I love it because I know that you and I have very similar interests in low market cap gems and being able to find those. But Seth, before we get into everything, can you just share a little bit about you and what you're all about for everybody who's tuning in that might not know you yet?
Yeah, no worries. So I've been in crypto since 2017, 2018. I started my channel around 9 months ago. The main reason I started my channel was because I noticed most things in the crypto space were disingenuous. They weren't genuine. There's a lot of paid promotion, a lot of coins being shilled, a lot of false promises being proposed, hearing stories of XRP going to 100x, and we
It,
saw
it's
what happened to
not.
XRP.
You don't think it
Very
is?
underwhelming. No, I do not believe XRP is going to 100x. I think it's very unlikely, if not impossible to do. And that was one of the main reasons I started my channel, to share good information based on data, factual, not really opinion based. But I'm focusing more on the lower slash smaller cap altcoins because at the end of the day, it's all about what we want. And most of us want to make a 50 to 100x. The point
Mhm.
about crypto is being able to take that risk because some may say this is a Ponzi or we're in a bubble. And I'm not going to fully disagree there. So I'm going to seize this opportunity to make as many returns as possible, to make as many people financially free. So that's kind of the main reason I started my channel.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I can say as an XRP holder, I got tired of staying poor. Now, mind you, I still hold XRP, obviously, it's my baby, but since I've diversified and actually started trading, and actually because I've held XRP and looked at the charts for so long, I'm actually really good at trading XRP now. It moves very predictably, if you can imagine. But
Yeah.
what have actually been some of your top crypto picks, like ones that absolutely exploded that you called early?
Yeah. So one of the main projects I was talking about on my channel during the early stages was AI coins. Now,
Mhm.
it's not random that I was talking about AI coins. I've studied computer science. I've always been in that tech realm. And
Yeah.
when I noticed that AI coins existed, that is something that really got my interest because AI is an ever growing field outside of crypto. And then I started covering other AI projects. For example, one's called Viot, Singularity Net, and
Mhm.
Demetra. Those are three AI projects that I bought myself and I covered on my channel. Now, due to ChatGPT, we saw a huge AI rally in crypto. And I went on to make a 50x of Viot, a 30x of Demetra, and a 10x of Singularity Net. So
Mhm.
that was the AI trend. And that's all during this bear market. Keep in mind, this is not even bull market values. We're talking about bear market values here, which is very impressive in the grand scheme of things because imagine what we can make during a bull market if that's what we're
Yeah.
making in a bear market. But also gaming, because gaming is,
Mhm.
in my opinion, something that has the perfect balance of hype and utility. It caters towards retail, it has the capacity to generate hype, and it does have utility in regard to the fact that people are going to adopt it to utilize the play to earn mechanism. So gaming is also something that's done very
Mhm.
well for me. I made around a fifth. Oh, it's not 50 now, it's pumping. So I think it's around 20 to 25x of Nakamoto games as well, which is a
Wow,
very
you got early
favorable.
on Naka.
Yes. I've been covering Nakamoto for a very long time. I'm up around
Wow.
20x plus on Nakamoto games. So those are a few projects that I've made some good gains on during this bear market. There's no point in us really sitting there talking about bull market values. At the end of the day, we're here to make money now, not living in the past. So that is some of the gems that I've made some great returns on.
From which projects is this guy? No, he's not from any projects, guys. Crypto Seth is just passionate about cryptos like we are, but he likes getting in early because he actually likes to make money in crypto.
Yeah, so I don't accept any form of paid promotion. I've never done a paid promotion on my channel ever. I never will do a paid promotion because that is the reason I started my channel, to just be an independent agent
Nice.
who has opinions based on several factors. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, then people can actually take you seriously and not like, oh, he just got paid to say that. So I love that. What's up, guys? Say hi to Alexa. Hey, Brian. Hey, Brendan. Amber. What's up, guys, in the house? I love making money. Oh, we've got XRP 1000X. Wow. Might be waiting a while. Tectum fanboys. I don't know what Tectum is.
It's a great project in my opinion. Tectum.
Are we going to talk about that one?
We will talk about Tectum, yes.
All right. So before you tell me like what you're into right now and everything, I just want to know when you are looking for your crypto gems, how do you find them? What are you looking for? What are you researching?
Yeah, so I think fundamentals are very important. You have to understand how crypto works
Mhm.
and why projects pump. There's this facade in crypto in believing that everything is random. Oh, that just pumped. This just
Mhm.
pumped. When you really do break it down, there's reasons in which why cryptos pump, ranging from utility to adoption, the
Mhm.
utilization of the actual platform, tokenomics, token utility, which is very important. People underestimate token utility. For example, if I don't even need the token to utilize the platform, then you're just relying on investors investing into the token for the sake of it. So there's
Mhm.
several factors. Also, capacity to generate hype. That's very important because at the end of the day, you need a strong community. You need the project to be able to generate hype to get retail to FOMO in order for it to pump and make us some money.
Mhm.
So you have to break down projects into several different categories. And when a project has many of those factors, that's when it can perform very well. If we do put it on a scale of hype and utility, if it scales too far towards utility, then there's certain factors that it relies on more than others. If it can't generate hype and it's
Mhm.
a really utilitarian play, then it really does need to have strong utility as well as strong token utility because you need people to adopt the platform, number one, and you need people to need to use the token to adopt the platform because if they don't need to, then how's it going to do well? At the end of the day, we're here to make money. I'm not really here to play around with projects which aim to revolutionize. I'm here to make money. So if the token doesn't have utility and people don't need it, then unfortunately, it's not going to do well. So I break down projects into fundamentals. There's different
Mhm.
fundamentals for different kinds of projects. For example, for gaming, one that's very important is play to earn. At the end of the day, Axie Infinity was the top performing gaming coin. And there's a reason why.
Yeah.
The main reason, one, was it's a first mover advantage. But number two, is because people were actually making money from Axie Infinity.
Mhm.
If people weren't making money, it wouldn't have done as well. So play to earn is something that's very important for gaming projects because people want to make passive income. People want to make more money. Therefore,
Mhm.
people are going to flock over to platforms which can generate them an income. So play
Mhm.
to earn is an aspect that's very important for a gaming project. For example, if a gaming project doesn't have play to earn, it's not the end of the world, but it won't do as well as a solid platform with play to earn. Two identical platforms, one
Mhm.
of play to earn, one without. The play to earn one will do better because people will flock over to make money from that platform. So I look at fundamentals when investing into cryptos because it's very important. Let's not get this trope of everything's random, it pumps, you can invest into anything and it'll do well.
Right.
That's not the case at all. So that's kind of my take in the crypto space.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And you're so right with it. You do need something that's going to generate hype. That is how token price goes up. Yet it amazes me how many people get mad that others hype a token or that a token is generating hype. As an investor, that's exactly what you want. You just want to be early to it, right?
Yeah, it's very true. If a token doesn't really have the capacity to generate that much hype, you're not really going to get the retail on board as much. Now, retail will FOMO regardless when they see the project up, but it's not going to do as well. Gaming, AI, they have the capacity to generate a lot of hype. This is one of the main reasons the AI trend did so well because all of retail got on board. They saw it as revolutionary. AI, AGI technology, the future, robotics, mechatronics,
Yeah.
gaming. Everyone games. It's fun. Play games, play to earn. These things generate hype and cause retail to FOMO into them. So if you don't have that aspect,
Mhm.
how's your project going to perform well? Well, you need those other factors. You need strong fundamentals in regards to having utility, adoption, institutional investment. Other factors start to become more important. You need the developers flocking over to build on your platform.
Mhm.
You need miners coming over for your proof of work. You really need to cater towards a specific community to be able to still perform well. Because if it doesn't have that hype, it needs something else.
Yeah.
So there's many factors. They're all very important, and it's all really just depending on the type of project.
I love it. Guys, smash that like. Smash that like. It helps with the algorithm and Crypto Seth is about to break it down with some of the gems that he likes, and I'm super interested to get into that. So I'm going to give you the floor because I'm just here to learn from you and see what you're doing because you are way better at finding these babies than I am.
No worries. So we'll start off with one called Tectum, as there was a person in the chat who said Tectum fanboy. So we're going to talk about that one.
Okay.
So I'll pull up my screen here and show you guys what Tectum is. So first, show you the coin gecko. So Tectum ticket is TET. It's currently at $8.99 and at $43.9 million in market cap. Now, technically, it is lower in market cap, but it depends on your perception of tokenomics. Now, this is a very new project, only releasing, let's have a look. I believe June. I know it says July here, but the project did release before the CoinGecko listing. Now, what is Tectum exactly? So Tectum, first of all, is a layer 1 blockchain. Now, the layer 1 blockchain is built for finance. Why do we say layer 1? We say layer 1 because it's not built on the Binance Smart Chain. It's not built on Solana. It's built upon its own blockchain. That's basically what layer 1 means in the most simplest form. Now, this layer 1 is built for finance specifically, not gaming, not the metaverse. Now, how is the Tectum blockchain being utilized? Well, there's this thing called a soft note built on the Tectum blockchain. Now, this soft note is a payment solution, but it's a very innovative payment solution. So how the soft note works, or how Tectum and the soft note works together, is Tectum can scale any blockchain. It scales Bitcoin, Litecoin, USDT, Ethereum. It even scales Casper, I believe, or they're about to scale Casper. And basically, you can create a soft note for each of the blockchains that Tectum scales. Now, these soft notes are basically NFTs that you can fill with liquidity, and then you can send it over to someone, and they can pull the liquidity out of that. Now, this is all taking place on Tectum's blockchain that boasts 1.2 million transactions per second. So it's very, very, very fast.
1.2 million transactions per second.
Yeah, but that's not even the main part about Tectum that I'm bullish on. That's a great aspect of it. You can transact crypto very, very fast, but that is not the main part. You have to remember, Tectum scales any blockchain. So you can create a soft note of Bitcoin, a soft note of Litecoin, a soft note of USDT, a soft note of Ethereum, a soft note of Casper, a soft note of Ordinals. You can transact that very fast, all of those, on a blockchain that boasts 1.2 million transactions per second, meaning you can transact, or not transact technically, we'll talk about that in a moment. You can send Bitcoin on a blockchain of 1.2 million transactions per second. Number one. You can also send it anonymously. Tectum allows for anonymity, meaning you can transact Bitcoin and all these major cryptos also anonymously, which is ridiculous in the first place. That's one of the main reasons Monero did so well. A digital cryptocurrency that you can transact anonymously. Now, imagine being able to transact Bitcoin, Litecoin, USDT, Ethereum, all anonymously. You can do that on the Tectum blockchain. Thirdly, now this is where it gets interesting. Remember how I talked about fundamentals and you have to break down a project. You have utility. We talked about the utility side there, but you also need the capacity to generate hype. Now, this is an aspect of Tectum that I believe, one, is utility, but also has the capacity to generate a lot of hype. So these soft notes, these NFTs of cryptocurrencies, you can actually print them off and hold them physically, meaning you can hold a physical soft note in your hand of Bitcoin, like a physical crypto bill. And then I can send you that crypto bill in real life, Jenna, and then you can go away and take the Bitcoin out of that bill. So you can transact crypto physically in the form of cash as well, which means it has a internet independent nature behind it. Let's say you don't have any internet right now. Well, I can still just hand you a Bitcoin soft note, a USDT soft note, and I can pay you with crypto. And you can go away and then take the money out of that crypto later. There is security features. If someone steals my soft note, they can't just take my money. So keep that in mind as well. So those are the three main factors behind Tectum. Let me break it down. So they scale any blockchain. Their blockchain boasts 1.2 million transactions per second. Softnote is the payment solution on Tectum. But the payment solution is very, very fast, as we discussed. It also allows for anonymous transactions as well. And it also allows for crypto to be transacted physically. Now, you're not transacting the Tectum token. It scales any blockchain. You're transacting Bitcoin, Litecoin, USDT, Ethereum, and many, many more to come. I believe Casper is actually going to be built, or they're going to be developing a soft note for Casper very, very soon as well. So they're going to be able to do all those same things I just said with Casper as well, and many of the cryptocurrencies to come. But there's also a few other features that I do like. For example, when I mint a soft note, when I create that crypto bill, I earn the transaction fees from that NFT that I minted forever because I minted it. So even after I send it to you, you send it to your brother, to your mother, your sister, to your dog, I'm still earning the transaction fees from that soft note. So there's even earning mechanisms in there with Tectum as well. So there's many things. I don't want to sit here all day. I do have a video on Tectum on my channel. So those who want to know about it in more depth, you can go watch that video. But that's basically Tectum in a nutshell.
Thank you. First of all, thank you. That's already blowing my mind. And at this point, how new is this? Has it seen a bull run yet?
No, it hasn't seen a bull run before. It came out in June earlier this year. So it's very new.
Great. It has not yet gone into price discovery mode. Like, this is great. Hasn't seen a bull run yet. I was going to ask the questions about, like, what do you think for adoption, this and that, but in, the whole generate hype thing, that doesn't really matter to me right now.
Look, the adoption is very important in my opinion. You want a project that gets adopted that can also generate hype. That is
but I also want the pump. So
absolutely. So if we talk about the adoption of Tectum are actually in talks with huge companies, AT&T, Starbucks. I believe Ferrari said they're going to be using the Tectum software for loyal customers. So it's being adopted by some huge institutions, outside of the crypto space. But yeah, absolutely. Tectum, or the soft note specifically, we have to differentiate them because many things can be built on the Tectum blockchain. For example, they have a 4-factor authentication that's built on the Tectum blockchain as well. Not 2, not 3, 4-factor authentication called XFA. But back to the soft notes, I believe that can generate hype because I can imagine people printing off all these crypto bills, sending them to people. Everyone gets really excited and hyped about it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the crypto.com card. When people saw a crypto card, that was huge. Now imagine crypto bills. That's going to generate a lot of hype in my opinion. So has the utility, has the hype. Perfect balance right in the middle in my opinion. So that's the first project.
Wow. What did you say the market cap and token supply was?
So there's a supply of 10 million and around 4.9 million is in circulation. And the market cap at the moment is 43 million. Okay. But it depends on your perception of tokenomics. So technically it's actually lower because in regard to the amount of tokens that can be traded on exchanges. So if you want to get really technical about it, Tectum's probably at a market cap of around like 8 million.
Awesome.
So very low market cap in my perspective.
Thank you, guys. And like you said, he has videos on his YouTube, and I have the link posted below for Crypto Seth's YouTube channel. So definitely check it out if you want to learn more. All right, awesome. What you got next?
So that's the first project, more on the utilitarian side. So why don't we move over more towards the hype-filled side? So let's go for a gaming project. Now, all right, I'm very bullish on many gaming projects. Nakamoto Games I've talked about for a very long time. Myria I've talked about for a very long time. GFAL is also one that I'm very bullish on. So in my perspective, those are the 3 main gaming projects at the moment to be watching. Naka, Myria, and GFAL. They're the most highly regarded, performing the best. So they have a great project in terms of fundamentals, and the price action actually backs them up because Naka's up huge, GFAL's up huge, and Myria's starting to pump up as well. So those are the 3 main gaming projects. So you know what I'll do is why don't you pick one of them? Pick one of those projects and I can explain them in depth and then we can talk about them. Naka, GFAL, or Myria. Okay. All 3 maybe.
Well, actually, I do want to know about all 3, but let's go with Myria because I bought it and I don't know what it is, but I got it. I got it anyway. I saw you guys talking about it, and that's kind of what I do sometimes is I get it and I research it later.
Yeah, no worries. So Myria is an interesting one because Gala's had all these issues. Now, Gala's always had issues, in my opinion. We had the tokenomics issues. Everyone kept going on about the tokenomics issues. Then they had a pointless migration. Then the co-founders suing each other. Gala's always had issues. And people are starting to look towards Gala killers, projects that could kill Gala Games. And if you are looking for a project, in my perspective, that is the most similar to Gala Games, that is Myria. So Myria is many things. Myria is a gaming ecosystem. It hosts games from many different Web3 games. So it's not just Myria's games. They have games from Fabworld. They have games from other blockchain-based platforms in the crypto space. It aggregates them all and gets it all on their platform. But Mirror is also a platform that develops their own Web3 games. Now, none of those games are out at the moment. And some people see that as a red flag. But in my opinion, it's a green flag because I'd rather them release these games during the bull market where they can generate much more hype, when those can be factors that cause insane price movement. But Mirror is a platform and a studio that develop their own Web3 games. They build their own Web3 games. Now, Mirror is also a layer 2 scaling solution built on Ethereum. So you can come over and build your own Web3 games on Mirror's blockchain, not on Ethereum, on Mirror's blockchain. And the Mirror blockchain utilizes ZK rollups and Optimism rollups, and it has zero fees as well. Now, Mirror is also a development suite. So people, developers, gaming institutions, if they want to build a Web3 game, they can actually come over to Mirror and build their own Web3 game as well. So let me just break this down very simply. They're a platform to build Web3 games. They have a development suite that you can go over as a developer and build your own Web3 games. It's a layer 2 blockchain built on Ethereum. You can also operate nodes on Mirror, just like how you could operate nodes on Gala. And what is one of the many things that people regret of Gala? Not being able to run a Gala node and earn that passive income. Well, you can do that with Mirror as well. Also, it's a platform that hosts many other Web3 games in the crypto space, not just their own. Also, they build their own Web3 games, and they're going to be play to earn as well, which is very important in my perspective. So that's all the main things behind Mirror Games: developing games, playing games, having other games, and it's a layer 2 as well. So that's Mirror in my opinion. Now, why is Mirror good? Well, number one, it's new. And new gaming projects tend to do very well. Reason number two, the team behind Mirror is very, very strong. Now, this is a common theme I'm actually seeing with gaming projects now. They have very strong teams. We're actually starting to see Web2 Web2 developers actually starting to come into the crypto space because some of the team behind Mirror are big names from Activision, EA Sports, or EA, Rockstar, some big names. And the reason that's important is because it's not that they're partnered with those institutions. It's the fact that we have the developers from those institutions. Now, why that's good is because we're actually going to get some high quality games. They're not just going to be silly little, terrible, not even loading metaverse games. They're going to be high quality games because they're being made by high quality developers. So we're going to be expecting some very high quality level games. You could potentially compete with projects like Illuvium, because the main reason Illuvium did well, because they haven't even delivered anything. The main reason they did very well was because people thought they were creating a very, very good, high quality game that actually looks like it can compete with Web 2. Now, this is another aspect of gaming projects that can help it perform well. Do people believe that this game has a chance to compete with Web 2, sorry? And if people do, then they're going to invest because they believe it's going to be big and huge, because it's going to overtake Web 2, bridge that gap. So that's something to look for as well. And the fact that Mirror have strong developers, it really adds that level of trust that the games that are going to be developed. They're going to be very high quality. So that's Mirror altogether. They're all over the place there, but that's all the main factors behind Mirror. If you have any questions, I can answer them as well.
No, like I'm totally down with that. I think you explained everything perfectly, honestly. I like the way you break things down. Let's talk about Naka. And guys, that ticker is NAKA. You can find these on CoinMarketCap. Like for Miria, I just copied the contract address out of CoinMarketCap and put it into my MetaMask wallet. Super simple. And then used like Uniswap.
Yeah, so Naka is a very interesting one. Now, Naka has been through a cycle before. But one thing you need to realize is don't be fooled by the immediate chart you see on CoinGecko. You have price and you have market cap. I don't really use price. The only time I use price is for Bitcoin and Ethereum. I use market cap when I'm not using price for Bitcoin and Ethereum. And the reason is with market cap, you can kind of see the value. You can see if there's more money in this project than there was previously. And when we take a look at Nakamoto, there is more money in Naka than there ever has been. Naka is actually forming all-time highs every single day in terms of market cap. So first of all, you need to understand that. If a project is old, it's not bad. New projects can generate more hype as the marketing is taking place this cycle and not last cycle. You don't have to reconvince investors to reinvest. No one knows of it. It's new. There's no previous holders from last bull market. However, old tokens can still perform very well, and Nakamoto is an example of that. What exactly is Nakamoto? So Nakamoto is a gaming project. And it's many different things. In regards to breaking down a gaming project, Nakamoto has so many different aspects behind it. So number one, it's a platform that boasts over 200 plus free to play and play to earn games. Now, the
Nice.
games on Nakamoto are very simple in nature, but they also have AAA games they're developing. It's simple games like 8-Ball Pool or Candy Crush. Why? Because they're the most simple games to add in
Mhm.
earning elements towards it. Imagine trying to add in an earning element to GTA. It's going to be very hard to do. But a
Right.
game like 8-Ball Pool, well, the winner gets the tokens. Very, very simple to do. If you level up, you get the tokens. Very, very simple to do. So Nakamoto Games has many different games, 200 plus, free to play and play to earn games. That's the first aspect behind Nakamoto. Naka has something called the Nakaverse, which is actually a gaming metaverse built directly into Nakamoto Games. Now, why this is good is because if we do see the metaverse take off again, well, Naka can kind of act in the metaverse narrative to help it perform well. And the great thing about Nakamoto is the metaverse also includes the earning mechanisms. So people are making money from the metaverse. It's not just a metaverse where you go in to play, no one cares. It's a metaverse where you go in to also earn money. And I talked to a guy who was earning around $300 a week from the Naka metaverse at one point, which is ridiculous to even say. So he was making a killing from the Nakaverse. But yeah, Nakamoto Games also have a metaverse implementation as well. That's number 2 for Naka. Naka have something called a Naka Arcade Emporium. Now, what this basically is you can buy an NFT and run an arcade, and people can play the games on your arcade, and you will earn the money anytime someone plays the games on your arcade. So there's another earning element there. You can run an arcade, and people can play the game. So these arcades can be purchased on the Naka store, I believe. I'm not sure what the base price is, but you can go to the Naka store and check that out yourself. So that's another element of Nakamoto Games. Next, Nakamoto Games is also a development platform. You can build your own Web3 games in Nakamoto utilizing the Naka SDK. Again, you want to cater to as many people as possible. So if Nakamoto has the developers getting on board, wanting to build their own Web3 games, that's also something that could help Nakamoto perform well, because not only do you have retail on board, you also have developers on board to build those games. So that's one of the many reasons Naka has so many games. I hear so many people saying Naka has copy and pasted games. No, they're just using the Naka SDK and turning Web 2 games into Web 3. Why would you bash a platform for having many games? That's good. The most games to be able to earn as much money as possible is good. I don't want to play, weird little racing games, but I will want to play, I don't know, some fighting game, let's just say. So being able to cater to as many people as possible is very good. So there's many other things in Nakamoto. I could probably say it all day. For example, there's something called the Naka Punk. This Naka Punk is basically an NFT that you can mint. And when Nakamoto starts earning revenue, they're essentially giving you a piece of the revenue. So there's a revenue sharing model in place with Nakamoto Games. Now, this is very important because the main reason Rollbit performed well was because Rollbit generated revenue and they had a revenue sharing model. So if you can generate revenue and have a revenue sharing model, retail are going to firmly win because retail want a piece of the pie. And it makes sense for a gambling project because gambling projects generate revenue. But also Nakamoto, the gaming platform, they generate revenue. So through the Naka Punk, you can essentially earn part of the revenue from Nakamoto Games. There's other things as well, such as the Naka API, which allows Nakamoto to be implemented into any website, any application, so you can play Nakamoto games directly through their games. There's also other elements, such as the Telegram gaming bot that they have to allow you to play Nakamoto games directly on Telegram. And there's also other things like infrastructures for building Web3 games on the App Store and Play Store. There's many things by Nakamoto Games. So that's Naka in a nutshell. I deem Naka as the top gaming project in terms of fundamentals, but also in terms of earning, because they have so many different earning elements. The games, the metaverse, the arcade, there's so many, the Naka Punks. So there's many different things. So that's Nakamoto Games.
Nice. That's Naka in a nutshell, guys. I love it. Hey, we have 27 live listeners right now, guys. Smash that like. That's on YouTube. And if you want to join the live chat, make sure you're on YouTube. We're also streaming on X. Hey, everybody that's hanging out with us. I am live with Crypto Seth, and he is your crypto gem hunter. I am super stoked to check these out and to learn more about them. You know what? Do you get asked that question? Like, is it too late to buy? Do you hate that question when you're like, I told you about this months ago, but we still haven't hit a bull run yet. So what do you think?
Yeah, it's a great question, and I do get it a lot. Now, the main reason I see people ask that question is because they tend to market cap hunt. And this is a rule that I really do push on my channel. Don't market cap hunt. Anything under 100 million in my mind can still do 100x a cycle if you do end up being the top project in your narrative. Because we did see a lot of
Okay.
gaming project or any project go to $10 billion in market cap or more. For example, Axie Infinity did it for gaming. We had Uniswap go to 20 billion for DEXs. We tend to see them go to $10 billion or more in market cap, in my perspective, based on what I've seen. So don't market cap hunt. If a project's at $5 million in market cap, that's okay.
Mhm.
It's not too late. And if a project is pumped, well, you're not too late either. Why? Because we're in a bear market. Meaning, if you invest today, as long as we still have a cycle, you will be in profits by Q5 2025 at least, or at most, let's just say. You should probably sell by then. So I
Yeah.
get that question a lot, but again, we have to break down why they're even asking that question. And the main reason they're asking that question is because they didn't invest. That's why it's
Right.
too late. So we have to
Right.
break down why they didn't invest. Well, if you didn't know about it, understandable. But if you did know about it, we have to address why. And the main reason I find is because the market cap hunting. They didn't invest into Naka because Naka wasn't at 100K in market cap. You know, it wasn't at 50K in market cap. It wasn't at $1 million in market cap. It was at a few million. And they thought, that's too high. It's too late at $3 million in market cap, which is a ridiculous statement to even say, in my opinion. So, yeah, it's not too late. We're in a bear market. The bull market isn't even here. We're even before the halving as well. So there's plenty of time to invest, in my opinion.
Love it, love it. Yeah, guys, smash that like button. It totally helps the algorithm. I have a couple questions for you in the live chat. How does he feel about the security risk in the USA at the moment?
The security risk in regards to what specifically?
I think that he's saying every token is a security. That whole,
Oh,
Gary's over here killing us. I know you're in Dubai, so you don't really have to deal with some of the same things we do.
so it's a good question. Now, what you need to understand is at the end of the day, regulation comes from the top down. So most of these cryptos that I'm talking about, they're not going to be attacked by the SEC because yes, you don't know about them. They're
Right.
at $1 million in market cap, $5 million in market cap. The SEC will attack them after it's been through a bull cycle. After we've made 100x's, 1,000x's. So regulation comes to the top down. My
Yeah.
opinions on the security, well, I don't really care. I'm here to make money. I'm not really here to be decentralized advocate. I'm not here to fight against Garganza. I couldn't really care less. I'm here to make money. And any project that can make me money, that is good. So that's kind of my take on it. I don't really care. I believe it's one of those things that you guys are probably being manipulated by. You're all sitting here consuming daily news about something that's so pointless and trivial. In my eyes,
Yeah.
you should focus on researching, finding the best gems, employing a good accumulation strategy, forming your exit strategy, doing the things that could generate you as much money as possible now and in the future.
Absolutely. I'm with you because, guys, how long did we just stay in our echo chamber? I know with the XRP community, and I caught so much shit whenever I started to look at other cryptocurrencies outside of it. And I'm like, listen, you guys don't pay my bills. I don't even want to hear your shit. Like,
Mm.
listen, we've got to look at other things. We've got to come out of the echo chamber and see what else is going around, guys. That there is more. I promise you that. I want to get your thoughts on PlaysApp on
Mhm.
PZP. I like that one. I think it's, good. And the reason too, like I want to look into all of these other games. I don't want to miss Axie like I did last time. I watched that just go up, and every time I thought it was
Mm.
too much and it was going to come down, it just kept ripping. And I don't want to make that mistake again. So I just want to hear your thoughts on PZP.
Yeah, it's very understandable. So, PlaysApp is one that people deem as the Play Store or App Store of gaming. Now, how PZP works in the most simplest form is it's not play to earn in regards to you play the game and you earn tokens. There's many different earning mechanisms: play to earn, skill to earn. There's
Mhm.
several different kinds. So PlaysApp is more of a skill to earn type mechanism. So you play the games over on PlaysApp,
Mhm.
and you can play these tournaments, and you essentially pull your capital together, and the top 20 to 30% of the winners of those tournaments will then earn the
Mhm.
PlaysApp token, which you can then go and sell. And one of the main reasons people like PlaysApp is due to the fact that it has strong development. You have
Mhm.
the developer for Miniclip. Now, the best thing about it is because PlaysApp looks like Miniclip. It's basically just like a Miniclip equivalent. And
Mhm.
because they have that strong development from an industry, from a game, from a platform that's basically the same thing, but a Web3 equivalent, that is something that can fill you with confidence. And that's one of the main reasons, not to go off PlayZap, that GFAL is performing very well. Have you
Yeah.
looked at the GFAL team? The
No, let's look at
co-founder,
that.
or not even co-founder, the co-founder is the CEO or the ex-CEO of EA, which is even ridiculous to even say. With a low cap gem of like $36 to $40 million in market cap, has the CEO or the ex-CEO of EA Sports behind it. It's something that's ridiculous to say. And you can kind of see why people really do value the team behind projects. So when we have a strong team behind a project, that is something that could help it perform well. And that's one of the main reasons people like PlayZap. So in a simple form, PlayZap is a platform where you can go and play games. You can earn rewards from spins and tuning in daily. The main earning mechanism behind PlayZap is through the tournament system, where if you do win the tournaments, you can earn the top 20 to 30% of people can earn rewards from playing the games. One of the main reasons people are bullish on it is because it's new, but they're also bullish on it due to the fact that it has some strong development, people from Miniclip, people from some top gaming institutions in the crypto outside of the crypto space. So that's why people like PlayZap.
Okay, cool. So let's talk a little bit more about GFAL now that we're on Games for a Living. I don't know much about this one, but it sounds similar to the others.
Yeah, so GFAL is probably one of the most highly regarded gaming projects in the crypto space at the moment. It's one that people believe is going to do very well, if not the best. So what is GFAL? Games for a Living. Well, GFAL breaks down into many different things. So GFAL is a platform where you can play your own Web3 games. Not your own, sorry, their Web3 games. So they currently have 2 games available, Elemental Raiders and some Diamonds one. Now, there's free to play and there's play to earn. The play to earn is through NFTs as well. So it has a gaming platform where you can play different Web3 games. That's very important. We need those play to earn games because we want retail to FOMO in to play those play to earn games to earn rewards. That'll cause the project to do very well. Remember, Axie Infinity, one of the main reasons it did well was due to the play to earn. So GFAL has that ticked. GFAL is actually a platform where you can play or develop, your own Web3 games. So
Okay.
GFAL is a studio. They have their own studio. They build their own Web3 games. At the moment, they have those 2 Web3 games I talked about. They have another 2 in development, I believe, that's going to be coming out next year. Now, GFAL creates Web3 games, which is very important. You want them to be a strong studio behind them that create their own Web3 games. But GFAL is actually also a platform where other developers can utilize the Web3 development tools they have available to create their own Web3 games as well. So it caters towards developers as well, which is also important. Now, the unique nature of GFAL, because there's many development suites. We talked about it. Naka have it, Myria have it, GFAL have it. Well, the unique selling point of GFAL's development platform is cross-chain compatibility. They want it to be on the Play Store, the App Store, the PlayStation, Xbox, PC. They want it to be everywhere. That is the main reason you'd want to build on GFAL as opposed to building on, let's say, Nakamoto. Nakamoto aren't really trying to get the games on the Play Store App Store, whereas GFAL, not Play Store App Store, sorry, on the PlayStation Store or Xbox, whereas GFAL are really focusing on that cross-gen compatibility. Now, the main reason people are bullish on GFAL is 2 reasons. One, it's new. And number 2, the team. The team behind GFAL are ridiculous. So if I actually pull up the GFAL team, I'm going to amaze you guys here because when you read the team, you think, well, how is this so low a market cap? It's even ridiculous to even think of. It's so ridiculous where I'd understand you may say that's a scam. There's no way that's possible. So let me pull it up for you guys here. Okay. So they have more than 20 years. This is the first person, Manal Sort. He's the co-founder and CEO. He has more than 20 years experience in the video game development space. He was the head CEO of companies in the industry, such as the former FVP at Activision Blizzard. Activision Blizzard. They're known for creating huge games such as Overwatch, Call of Duty. He was the former FVP at Blizzard and Activision, which is ridiculous to even say. Now, let's have a look at one of the other founders. The other founder was the former founder and CEO of both Electronic Arts, EA, and Digital Chocolate. They created this FIFA. They created Madden, UFC, all these sports-based games that we'll play throughout our childhood. This is the guy behind them. And yet he's the person behind GFAL as well. There's many other people who developed with Netflix and other studios. I don't want to be here all day, but they have a very extensive, strong team behind them. And this is the main reason people are bullish on GFAL. It comes down to the team. If they didn't have this team, it would still be very good. But this is the main selling point. Because you have to ask yourself, well, there's 100 gaming projects. What's unique about them all? What's unique about Naka is there's so many different earning elements. What's unique about Miria, it's the most Gala killer out there. It's a layer 2 scaling solution for Ethereum as well. What's unique about GFAL? Well, strong team behind them, very strong team, and also cross-chain compatibility. So that's GFAL in a very simple form. I can go into more depth about it, but I don't want to be here all day talking about all these gaming projects in a lot of depth. But that's what it is in simple form.
No, that's awesome. I'm so glad you didn't. Everybody, I mean, you told us like the basics about them, and then it's just up to all of us to go do our research on them. And I agree that team matters. Johnny Crypto's in the house. What's up from 3T Crypto Academy on Good Morning Crypto with me. He wants to know your thoughts on Playable.
Yeah, so Playable's been doing very well recently. Now, again, we break down projects into elements that can help it perform well. Now, the main element I see why Playable could perform well is due to this idea of operating a node. Everyone wants to earn passive income in crypto.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that Playable does that very well. They have very high quality games. They're catering towards esports. They're trying to get those Web 2 esports people on board, which is good. Because if you get the Web 2 space playing your game, if you do solve that issue and you get them playing a game, that is going to lead to your platform doing well. And Playable are really trying to do that. Now, the main reason Playable is going to perform well, again, like I said, is due to the nodes. It's what you're bombarded with on Playable. And people are going to flock over to run a Playable node to earn passive income. But that will inevitably lead to Playable doing very well this cycle. So that's the main reason I see Playable doing well. It's a decent gaming project in the crypto space.
Said the Playable nodes are cheap too, around $2,500. Johnny, I don't know when you popped in, but you've got to check out some of these picks. Miria's the one. What'd you say? That could
Most
be
similar to being a Gala killer.
Yeah, Johnny's all about Gala games, and he's been obsessed with it for a long time. You might want to check it out, Johnny.
I don't know how I feel about Gala games, because at the end of the day, the main reason people would invest into Gala was one, because we perceived it as a somewhat safe investment. It was higher in market cap. It was hundreds of millions of dollars in market cap. We perceived it as a safe investment. That was the main reason that we invested into Gala. We saw it as a gaming project that could still make us good returns, that was safer. But what happened? It proved itself to not really be a safe investment. Therefore, it's not really worth investing into Gala, in my opinion, because if you're looking to make a 20x or 30x, well, go for a layer 1. Go for a project like Casper. Go for a project like Injective. If you're looking to make more than a 20 to 30x, then you need to give yourself the best chance to be able to do so. Therefore, go for lower cap gaming projects. I don't really see a realm in which Gala is a worthwhile investment anymore, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah, I agree with you. We need the lower ones. This is great. The chat's blowing up. Oh my God. Passive income and esports, great partnerships. Somebody had something for you. Jenna X, ask him about Futureverse. Thoughts on Futureverse?
Futureverse. I haven't heard of this, but I can take a quick look and give you my thoughts.
Yeah, definitely do. I feel like this is one that did Ripple partner with Futureverse, guys? Is that what I'm thinking? I believe they're doing their own metaverse project or something.
Is this a token?
Or is it just a game? Is it a token or a game, guys? Are saying yes, look. Yes, look. Okay. All right. We're looking. I just felt like there was some kind of partnership with
Revolutionary AI and metaverse technologies that enable open source, scalable, and interoperable apps, gaming, and experience.
Yes. Well,
I don't think this is out yet.
Too. Smash that like. I love you guys too. Yeah. Okay. Metaverse project. Do you think
so? It's like an infrastructure. Okay, interesting.
People are going crazy about it. Ripple funded 54 million. Yeah, I mean, FIFA is minting NFTs on the XRP. Wow, I did not know that. That's pretty crazy. I have to look into that. If you have an article, or better yet, like a contract or like an address, send it my way so I can verify all this stuff. That's awesome.
I've had a quick look at this project, and it does look pretty decent, but I'm not too sure if they are going to be developing their own token that's going to be publicly available. But if they do, it could do very well. It's a lot of things, but one thing I am seeing that I like is it's more of an infrastructure play. You can utilize their SDKs to develop different gaming applications, integrating AI as well. Seems pretty decent.
Nice, nice. Okay, so what trends do we need to be on the lookout for? Obviously, gaming, GameFi.
Great
People who
question.
say gaming is dead, like and GameFi is dead, I think they're absolutely nuts. I think gaming is what's going to bring so many different people into crypto and help make it mainstream. But what other trends other than that are you seeing? And also, do you use AI to like analyze any of your crypto gems?
Great question. So, what trends do I see happening in crypto? So, gaming isn't dead. Why? Because it has the perfect capacity to generate hype
Yeah.
and utility. People want to earn money. That's why they come into crypto. We can do that play to earn. And also, it's gaming. It generates hype. So, gaming is going nowhere. But apart from gaming, what do I see doing very well? I think GPU slash computing platforms are going to do very well this cycle. So, projects like Render. Now,
Mhm.
Render is the one I'm going to use because everyone knows Render, but I'm very
Sure.
bullish on other projects such as Dynex and Core AI. They're lower in market cap. But basically, what this is in the most simplest form is you can mine through their proof of work or proof of useful work consensus mechanism, and you can provide your computing power. Now, that computing power can be utilized by institutions that want to perform tasks that require large amounts of computing power for AI systems, for deep learning, and other use cases. With Render, it's more in regards to rendering. So,
Mhm.
more in regards to metaverses, games, even videos of the sort. But I'm very bullish on computing platforms, specifically GPU computing platforms. I think that is something we're going to have to look out for because they had a huge trend very recently and they did very, very well. And I think the main reason they're going to do very well is because they have the backing of the mining community. Having the backing of the mining community is huge. The main reason Kadena did so well was because people were mining Kadena. The token allocation was around 70% for token rewards for mining or mining rewards. So projects that have a proof of work or proof of useful work algorithm where you can mine, but also do something with real utility, such as providing computing power for institutions, is something that's going to do very well, in my opinion. So GPU, computing narrative, that's one that I'd look out for this cycle. Now, another hidden narrative I believe will do well is BRC20, ordinals. No one is talking about it now, but that is
Really?
the time to be investing. Seriously. So the main reason I'm very bullish on BRC20 or ordinals or Audi to be specific is because Audi is the gateway to building on Bitcoin. Now, whether you like it or not, ordinals and Audi and BRC20 community, they've been silently developing. They've been developing, they've been building. There's thousands of different of BRC20 tokens. Now, people may say, well, I don't think it's going to do well because it congests the Bitcoin network. Well, that's a debatable topic in itself. I had an AMA with a BRC20 developer, ordinals developer, and according to him, technically doesn't congest the Bitcoin network. But even if it did, and congestion of the Bitcoin network will lead to an increase in rewards for miners. So it won't be surprised that
Okay.
these mining institutions are going to fund these ordinals or BSC20 coins to increase their mining rewards. But anyways, I digress. That's just a theory.
Well, that's
But,
that's my theory of why Jack Levin created Zen was to basically give miners more rewards.
well, yeah, projects that cater towards the miners will do very well during the cycle and every cycle, in my opinion, because those are the people that really do control crypto, in my perspective, other than the regulators. Now,
I'm
at
sorry,
the end of the
before
day,
you do that, can
you
you
go ahead.
give us the ticker for you said what was it?
Ordi,
Di
ORDI.
ORDI, but there was another one before that. It sounded like Corii and Dynex.
Oh, so Dynex, DNX is the ticker,
Oh, DNX is the ticker. Okay, and what was the other ticker?
and Claw's another one, or Cash. There's many of them. So
Okay.
CLORE, and there's also
Okay.
one called a Cash, which is AKT.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, these are part of the GPU computing narrative. In my opinion, it's the best utilization of AI. K2Source miners can generate hype as well through the AI aspect, and has real utility for providing computing power. So they're going to do very well in my perspective. But yeah, ordinals, the Audi narrative, I think is one that people are for some reason overlooking. Now I think they're overlooking it due to the complexity of it, but
Yeah.
it's basically just a platform that allows us to build directly on Bitcoin. Stacks did pretty well through a cycle before, but
Mm.
Stacks was building on Stacks. This is building directly on Bitcoin,
Okay.
inscribing directly on Satoshis, which is something that I believe is going to do very well this cycle. So if you do want to bet on this narrative, Audi is the best one because Audi is the gateway to building on Bitcoin. And another one that could do very well is called Track/Tap Protocol. Now, what this is an indexer. Now, let me explain it simply. Imagine you want to build on a blockchain. There's a lot of data that you need to pull. Now, what an indexer does, it pulls all that data for you, collects all that data, and allows you to simply utilize it through an API or other mechanisms in your platform that you want to develop or build. So basically, if you want to build on blockchain or on Audi, you're going to need to use an indexer. And Track is basically the token for a ordinals indexer. So that'll do very well if people start building on ordinals. So, or on Audi. So that's one that I believe is going to do very well as well. So basically, think of Track as like a graph, the graph, but for the Audi world, the BRC20 world. So that's a narrative I believe is going to do very well as well. BRC20, GPU, AI, gaming. Those are the main narratives I believe are going to surprise people. One that people aren't talking about, though, is called BlockDAG. The BlockDAG narrative. Now, the BlockDAG narrative was made popular by Casper. So Casper have a Ghost DAG, which is the utilization of BlockDAG technology. And because Casper is going to do very well this cycle, other BlockDAGs are going to play on that BlockDAG narrative and do well as well.
Okay.
That's something that's going to do well this cycle, in my opinion. BlockDAG cryptocurrency. So Casper is one of them, the main one, the market mover. Another one's called Taraxa. There's many other ones out there. But yeah.
Awesome. I mean, no big deal, guys. We have so much homework that we can go and do. Listen, we have been on for almost an hour there. I have one more question for you. I'll take another one from the audience. Guys, thank you so much. The chat is blowing up. They absolutely love you. And I appreciate all of the knowledge that you're spilling. Like you are an absolute gem. So thank you so much for coming on, Seth. I appreciate you and everything that you do to help others in the space. Okay. Johnny wants your thoughts on what you think about ILV and Expector.
Well, Illuvium, the main reason Illuvium performed well, like I said before, was the anticipation of something of a very high quality. That is the main reason people invested into it. They saw Illuvium as a great game that's so good, but we have to invest into this token. Now, in my perspective, the gaming projects that we have at the moment, the crypto space, are better, which leaves Illuvium not worth investing, in my opinion. Because at the end of the day, what are the elements that would make Illuvium perform well? You have to break it down. Nothing's random. Does it have a play turn game? Well, the game isn't even out, so no. Can you build your own games? It's not even a development platform. Immutable X is where Illuvium was developed. Immutable X is a development platform. So it's not a development platform. So it doesn't cater towards the developers. Doesn't cater towards the retail to win a FOMO, win, choose to play to earn. What does it have? Strong community? I guess there's a strong community behind it. That is something that it does have. Can you play the games now publicly? No. So what are the elements that it has to make it perform well, other than just the anticipation of it being a high quality game? Is it new? No. So it doesn't have the fact that it's new to perform well. So in my perspective, when we have projects like GFAL, Myria, Naka, right, Illuvium is just not as worth it because it doesn't have as many elements to perform well. Now, what I will say with Illuvium is if they do release the game this cycle and the game is good, it will probably end up still performing very well. But it's already higher in market cap to the point at which you're not going to be getting your hundreds of X's with Illuvium, where you could with projects such as GFAL and Myria. Awesome. That's kind of my take on Illuvium. Simple form doesn't have as many elements that could make it perform well due to the nature of the project. So that's the simple answer.
Nice. Johnny, as far as Expector, I didn't get to tune into the Monday show with them. They do every single Monday. But, I wonder if they're going to do a migration with their token to Zahao. I don't know if Dirk's mentioned anything like that, but I know that they continue to build and everything. I have a couple of their NFTs. I don't hold the tokens anymore, but I feel like with all the XRPL tokens, I feel like they're going to pump after XRP pumps later. I just feel like it's going to trickle back down into them. That's just my personal thought, but we haven't seen it yet happen, right? In the bull run. So we haven't had it yet, but I think it will. All right. So yeah. Seth, do you have any other thoughts on that?
No, not really. I believe it's wise to stay away from XRP.
Hey, listen, you're talking to like the XRP. We got a bunch of Wow. We got XRP lovers in the house. Listen, it's super, super safe. There's the thing is with XRP, it's like there is, yes, the market cap's really, really high, but there's so much speculation with it, one, which is absolutely huge. But the fact that they're being adopted worldwide and just everything that they're doing, I think it has some crazy potential. But is it going to give you the 50 to 100x gains this, bull cycle? No, I don't think so. But I think it's great to hold a moon bag just in case. But I mean, that you're not going to change my mind on. But that's why we're having these conversations because, I feel like it's a very, very safe choice. I feel like it's a slow mover. And I don't want to have all my eggs in that basket. But
Yeah, no worries. Let me explain my opinion on it.
I want
I
to
get
hear
where you're
it.
coming
Tell
from,
me.
right?
Tell me.
My opinion on
Yeah, yeah.
XRP is understanding reality. So as long as you believe that XRP is going to perform realistically, conservatively, in the realms of a 3 to 6x, and you're fine with that, and you still invest into it, then that's okay. As long as you have that
You
mindset of
think only a
understanding.
3? Why do you think only a 3 to 6x? Tell me why your thoughts on
Okay,
that.
well, number one, you don't really need to adopt the XRP token to utilize the services. And because of that fact, well, if it gets adopted, well, it's not going to increase in value. Token utility is very important. It's not like a height-based coin per se, to the point in which retail FOMO alone can make it do more than a 3 to 6x. The token utility is very, very important. So when you have a lack of token utility and it's been through a cycle,
Wait,
yes,
no,
there's a strong community. It's like, well, what's going to make it perform? And just due to market cap alone, realistically, the competition we have now in the crypto space is huge. You have to understand that maybe 5-10 years down the line, it could be utilized for more. But realistically, we're here for this cycle to make as much money possible this cycle. And the cycle is 2 years away until the heights. Do you really believe it's going to get the adoption to the point at which could cause an increase in price significantly in these 2 years to do more than a 3 to 6x? I
according to
don't
the
think.
charts, I do. According to the charts, I definitely believe it would not be crazy to see a $10 to $13 XRP. But that's also not being like a moon boy either by any means. I'm not saying that we're going to $10,000, $100. I will definitely keep a bag. But I mean, when you're talking about utility, XRP is like the utility token. I mean, it's made to be used, right? Um, and I think that everybody who really, really is banking on XRP does, they're looking into all the partnerships and everything. And I think the tokenized assets that will be coming to the XRPL is a huge one. I think that they're looking at, hey, we're going to have the AMM updates for XLS 30 coming in. I think that's going to play a huge part. They're looking at these, yeah, we have little pumps now with all these different conferences, but I'm not looking at those to make any kind of plays long. I see you guys talking about like Ripple Swell. Yeah, but last time it also jumped after the Ripple Swell, guys. We're still going to look at a nice retracement and everything. But I don't know. I just looking at the charts and everything, I don't think it would be crazy to see a $10 to $13 XRP. And I do think XRP has the potential to flip Ethereum. I don't think that's
No,
yeah, I don't think that's out of the
highly
question. I
doubt.
really don't.
No, no, I'll give you my take on it. At the end
All
of the day,
right,
it's all about being
get to.
conservative. It's all about being conservative.
Sure,
If
sure.
buts and maybes, anything can happen in crypto.
Yeah.
Ethereum can flip Bitcoin, if buts and maybes, but it's better to be conservative than to be optimistic. Rather, people believe it's going to do 3 to 6x realistically, because that is a realistic conservative price. If it does more, okay. But don't expect more. Because when you start to expect more, you start to believe it's going to do much more. That is when you hold. That is when everyone calls for these ridiculous prices. You're there holding your bag into the next bear market, and you didn't sell because people told you it was going to do this, this, and that. So the best thing to do is to be conservative, understand technical analysis, understand cycles and fundamentals. And then once you understand that, then you realize that, look, yes, anything can happen, but realistically, it's not wise to predict that. But we can debate XRP as a whole. Now, I don't believe it's going to flip Ethereum. Ethereum has too much utility. This is what people don't realize. Ethereum has so much dominance in the crypto space. Smart contracts was popularized by Ethereum. Proof of stake was popularized by Ethereum. All the scaling solutions are scaling for Ethereum. The top blockchain, the most ecosystem in crypto is Ethereum. No one is really using all these other, if we're going to be honest, no one's really using all these other blockchains apart from Ethereum, Matic, Binance Smart Chain, and Arbitrum. All these other blockchains aren't really utilized to that high of a degree. So you have to understand Ethereum's dominance. ZK rollups, optimism rollups. What do you think these are about? Ethereum. Once you get into crypto and the nitty gritty, you really understand Ethereum's dominance. Basically, everything is about Ethereum. I really don't believe that we're going to have a flipping of Ethereum, especially in regards to XRP, because again,
It's
lack
happened
of
at one time
interoperability.
before. I don't know. I think Ethereum's slowing down. I mean, think about it. If Ethereum wasn't so broken, it wouldn't need so many layer twos, right? I don't
I
know.
don't disagree. Ethereum's technology is imperfect, but that's irrelevant. I'm not here for tech. I'm not a technology advocate. Technology is irrelevant. We're here in regards to making money as an investment. And at the end of the day, there's so many systems relying on this investment that it's going to still do very well.
Yeah, no, so I think too, like people, with Ripple, they've done down like really dug deep down the rabbit hole and they seem to follow the money. Like, you don't think that by Ripple, like for example, hang on, let me share
This is the question.
screen.
Do you think banks are going to be buying XRP on exchanges at market value to pump the token?
No, but I think that when all the money is being moved and trillions of dollars of assets are being moved, I think it's definitely going to affect the price of XRP
This
100%.
is my point in regards to token utility. If I can adopt the platform without necessarily buying a ton of tokens, then how do you expect the price to move? Well, it's going to be retail. It's going to be smart money just pumping the token, just general manipulation.
Oh, so you don't think that one day there's going to be like a big, how they're going to do spot Bitcoin ETFs? You don't think that there's going to be one for XRP and people buying in like
Anything can happen,
XRP?
but I'm an investor for the next 2 years to this bull market.
Oh
We
yeah,
can talk
yeah.
about future prospects post this bull market. We can talk about the if buts and maybes, but if we're here to make money, we have
If
to
you're
put ourselves in
here,
the best position to make money for the next 2 years.
all right,
So
Johnny has popped in. I know he wants to. All right, I'm going to introduce you. So this is my other co-host. He's awesome. Let's bring him to the stage. This is Mr. Johnny Crypto, Mr. Johnny Crypto, Crypto Seth. He wants
hey
to talk
Johnny,
XRP with you.
No, Crypto Seth, it is nice to meet you, bro. First of all, let me just say good afternoon or good evening to all the Warrior Maniacs, Crypto Maniacs out there tonight. We love you, appreciate you guys. Jenna, you're awesome. And Seth, you are the man. I love your gaming knowledge, bro. You're on it. And GFAL was, one of those that I wasn't really aware of. So thanks for bringing it. You're going to help the community. That was awesome, dude. And you have some really, Myra's one of my absolute favorites. I honestly believe that
wow.
Gala, it will be the Gala of this next bull run. So I think you
Good to
nailed it
hear.
on that one. That's one of my favorites.
You should look into Tectum. People are sleeping on Tectum.
Tectum. I'm going to write that one down too. Give us
Tech
that
is
symbol.
TET.
TET.
Yeah.
Awesome.
TTO was at the beginning of the show. Yeah, Johnny.
Yeah,
I want to hear.
Yeah, so Seth, I had to come on, listen. So we're not like, I try not to be a max in anything, but here's what I'm thinking about XRP. So you're thinking of 3 to 6x. I'm thinking, you know what? Think about how these things work. These markets work where you have 2 phases, right? You've got speculative phase of any kind of technology, and you're going to get a pump in that speculative phase. And then you've got the actual utility phase that runs up, right? And so that comes later on, and we've seen that. If you look at, for example, when we had the first adoption, if you will, of the internet, when it first happened in 97, 98, you had your speculative runs, and then Amazon, made it to 100, 125. And then in the real world utility, 20, 30 years later, we see $3,300, right? But that took a very, very long time. So when I think of XRP, you think of it right now, we're in that early speculative phase of adoption. We're nowhere near real adoption, although the whole world thinks we're right, but we're not. We're kind of in that early stage. But there's a shit ton of money to be made in the speculative because what happens? All the narratives come in. Now think about this. With XRP, you've got the monkey's now off its back. The SEC is no longer holding them down. So we never really got to see true price discovery of how high they could go in the last bull run. B, you have XRP, a pretty well cash funded company sitting on almost $1 billion. C, you talked about relationships earlier, very key. And they've got they have a good chunk of very high, powerful people in the company. D, think about how they're spread. They started out as cross-border payments. Then now they're spreading out to custody, to tokenization. I think they get it, right? So if you think of all the narratives that can be spun around Ripple, the company, and XRP, its technology, and the fact that they're going to pump the shit out of the fact that they are the only company, or the only technology, I should say, that is not considered a security, right? Based on programmatic sales portion of it. I'm just thinking, if you put all those things together, could we see all this hype and narrative that drives this thing to $10, $12? The Fibonacci say yes. The narratives and all the indicators seem to point yes. And if you look at where we are today at 70 cents, if we get to $10, you're looking at, maybe a 10, 12, 15x. I'm not one of those guys that thinks this thing's going to 589 or any of that crazy stuff. But do I think $10, $7, $6, $8, $9, $10 in the next run is possible? I'd say, yeah, that probably makes sense. I think it's a little bit bigger than 3x. But I'm curious. I'd love to hear what your take is in terms of whether you realistically believe they will pump the shit out of this thing based on all the good narratives they can use.
Well, what I will say is a pump the crap out of it when a project's at $36 billion in market cap to $200 billion in market cap, which is a 6x, is ridiculous. That is a pump. Just because the multiplier isn't high doesn't mean that isn't a pump the crap out of it, because a project went from 36 billion right now to 200 billion is ridiculous in itself. So it's suppressive to XRP. But again, it comes down to elements that make projects perform well. And as you discussed, you talked about narratives. Yes, narratives is an aspect of it. But when people are looking for tokenization, and people are going to invest into a token due to tokenization, they're not going to XRP to do so. And even if they do, is there token utility with the XRP token for the tokenization? Token utility is very, very important, because if you don't have to adopt the token to utilize the platform and services, when you talk about utility, well, what? Okay, and yes, it has great utility. XRP may be great in terms of utility, solves real issues in the real world. I don't disagree. But we're talking about investments. Is there token utility that's going to cause the price to increase because people adopt a platform and the token to use the services? If that isn't in place for a utilitarian play, it doesn't matter what the sentiment is. Now, in my opinion, the sentiment for XRP is not bullish. Yes, they did win the SEC. That's good. That's great, right? It's a good plus for crypto. I like that. Yeah. But at the end of the day, does it have retail? Does it really have retail? Because people held last cycle. It didn't do that well. They held to the bear market. They lost a lot of money. Do you think people will reinvest this cycle as much as they did last time into XRP? I'm not sure if they will, because we have so many options. We have so many other cryptocurrencies out there. It's not like we just have XRP. When you go back to 2018, yeah, there was not that many tokens. Let's invest into XRP, cross-border payments. It's the one that seemed like it had the most utility. But now we have so many other cryptos that the amount of investment is going to be diluted. It will. It's a matter of fact. There's just so many other better options out there that investment from retail is going to be diluted. So if you don't even have the institutions putting their money in to adopt the token because they don't even need to, and you don't really have that much support from retail as much as you did previously, and this idea that it got suppressed, therefore this cycle will do better, I think it's a very flawed theory. First of all, we don't have an example of that ever happening in the first place.
Correct.
It's an assumption. And secondly, maybe it's just an unfortunate reality. It got suppressed. That's bad, but that's just it. Unfortunately, it won't do as well because it got suppressed, like Monero. Monero's attacked by the SEC, didn't do as well. It did form a slight high in terms of market cap, but not price. Now, does that mean now Monero is going to do 3 times its all-time high? No. It's just unfortunate. I wish it didn't. People will just move on.
Yeah.
That's kind of my take on it.
Yeah,
So,
I think go ahead, Jenna.
Well, so you don't think okay, so obviously this just came out. Dubai Financial Authority approves XRP as a recognized crypto token. So you don't think that XRP is starting to be used in Dubai and just recognized and actually being used as legal tender as payment? You don't find that bullish or think it's going to help? And then I just want to get your thoughts on that because, and then, they have acquired Fortress and Medico and, you have all of these banks, and Medico literally just worked with one of Germany's largest banks to create a digital asset custody solution. What cryptocurrency do you think that they're going to be using? To me, that looks like XRP. You know what I mean? There's just like so many different things, and you just kind of follow the money. And I mean, we cover, there's literally an article, there's somebody, saying something literally every single day about XRP. And I think that they're just doing so much under the seat, like behind the scenes, and you really have to find everything. But whenever you start connecting the dots and following the money, it seems like a pretty solid
Can I
pick
say
to
one
me.
thing to you, Jenna?
Yeah, go for it.
Well, this is all happening, correct? It's all being adopted. You're seeing all this news.
Yeah.
Everyone's using it. Well, look at the token price. Is it increasing in value?
No, it's not. Everybody isn't like using it so far. Like, I mean, yeah, a little bit. Now, that is the good point. And I've said this before, because Stellar does more transactions than any other cryptocurrency at all. They do more every single day. And look at the price of Stellar. I think that the value is going to come through when we start doing like the tokenized assets and everything like that. Go ahead, Johnny.
Well, you got two aspects of this thing. You have right now, there's no real world utility of any of this stuff other than maybe Ethereum. You could argue that, smart contracts are out there and things are running. There's some gaming stuff and things happening. I think on the XRP side of it, they're still working on trying to figure out, I think, what their utility and their play is going to be. They started out as cross-border payment solutions. They're working with other countries, central banks, trying those systems out. And at the end of the day, if those come to fruition, if you do see some of those systems picking up and playing, and you've heard some banks already come out and say, yes, we see the value in XRP and it's being able to, the transfer value or and eliminate the Nostro Vostro accounts, and that real world utility happens, what's going to drive the price is going to be not the retailer. The retailer is never going to drive the price on XRP. It's going to be driven by the institutional trade volume. And that's what has to happen for the price to really go up. Any price pumps we see now, it's going to primarily be by any liquidity that's drawn into the market for speculative plays. I don't see it being anything more than that this early on in this phase. I'm curious if you see it any different, Seth, but I don't see it any different than this next round will be how much they can pump the narratives and get people excited. And, the big boys are going to get in early if they think there's a pump, and they're going to pump the hell out of this thing. And maybe we see 7, 10. Is it sustainable? I don't think so. That's why I tell everybody, you got to have an exit plan. Oh, I don't have it back there. You got to have an exit plan.
I'll say a few things.
Go
Number
ahead.
one, we're seeing all these stories of XRP being adopted, but we're not seeing an increase in price. Why? Because a great project isn't necessarily a great investment. I'm here to make money. Investment is different to project.
That's true.
For example, there's this Degen project called Hive. Hive is a freelance platform. Basically, what they aim to do is eliminate the fees for freelance, because Fiverr take 20% fees. That's good. There's real utility in that. A platform with 0% fees using crypto to pay, instead of Fiverr taking 20%, Upward taking 20%, and the government taxing you taking 20%. That project has real utility. It's a great project, but it's not a good investment. The tokenomics, the fundamentals aren't in place as a good investment. So I'm not attacking XRP. I have no issue with XRP. It may be a great project. It may have real utility. It may be adopted. But when I say XRP, I'm talking about the mechanisms in place. Because if the adoption increases, do they need the token to increase that adoption? Because we're talking about tokens going up and down in price. We're not talking about whether something gets adopted. You can adopt something, but does the token go up in price if you adopt it? If the token doesn't go up in price and you adopt it, then you can't use adoption as an argument. Adoption would be an argument based on the fact that people will see it being adopted and think, oh my God, it's being adopted. Let me buy into the token. But as you just said there, you don't believe that retail is the one who's really controlling it. Therefore, that wouldn't even be a factor itself. So then what would really cause it? Manipulation. Of course, it's all just can be manipulated at the end of the day by these institutions. But again, due to the widespread of investment we have now, don't you think that the least one to be manipulated this cycle will probably be XRP due to the regulation in play? It's probably going to be the one that's the least messed with. And even if it does get messed with, which it probably will, 3 to 6x, $200 billion in market cap at the heights, that is ridiculous. $200 billion in market. Let's think of this logically. right? Okay, well, XRP right now, it's at $36 billion of market cap. Went to a high of, well, let's have a look. Last cycle, I think around like $70 billion of market cap.
Yeah, it was about $2.
2018 was like 100 and something billion dollars of market cap.
Mm-hmm.
If we went back to the highs of 2018, when there wasn't that many cryptos, but there was less investment.
Yeah.
But that's like what? Like more than a 3x on this point, like a 3-4x on this point.
Yeah.
That would take out the previous high that we formed in 2018. Then if we did another, like I'm saying, 2x to make it 6x in total, that's going to be around double the all-time high market cap of XRP. That's good, considering it's going to take past its previous high that it made in 2021. A double in all-time high market cap for XRP from 2018, when it wasn't suppressed, is good. That's good. But again, you invest into XRP if you're looking to make low amounts of returns. I'm not talking about the if, buts, and maybes. This is what I said initially.
Right.
Understand the realistic outcome from your investment. Don't just get filled with optimism.
I agree.
Anything can happen in crypto, but don't expect it to do more. Be conservative. Expect a 3 to 6x from XRP.
Yeah.
If you get more, okay, fine. But don't expect a 10x, a 20x. When it doesn't come, you're that person who's holding to the depths of the bull market because people told you XRP is going to this, that, and this. It's ridiculous.
Well, so
you invest in XRP if you want to make a 3 to 6x. If you want to make more, you go towards alternative investments. It's as simple as that. It really is as simple as that.
Yeah. You know, I don't necessarily disagree with you from that perspective. If you're looking strictly from, hey, where are the best place to maximize your dollars? It's always going to be the low caps. You're going to be looking at things that are lower. It makes no sense. All right. No sense. You're never going to have any of the ones in the top 10 be able to compete and do 100x from here. That's the bottom line. You're looking at, but that's why I always look at a mixed bag. You want to have a diversification. Have some, blue chips, if you want to call that, and with the ones in the top 10s. That's why I've got the gaming plays like the Galas and the Myras and the playables, right? You kind of mix it up and you look all around. All I look at it is from a perspective of XRP. The only thing that's going to drive token valuation is going to be if institutions actually adopt the ODL and they use the XRP token on the ODL. Now, they have the option. They can or they can't. That's what I look for. Whenever you see adoption, you'll see them talk about it, and they'll say, I think it was the bank of, it was one down in Brazil. I forgot the name of it now. They adopted it, and they said, we're going to use the ODL, and we're going to use XRP on the ODL. That is the kind of wins I'm looking for as an XRP holder. And you need to see, and I say it all the time on the show every morning, you need to see a lot of those. We want to see them piling up because you're 100% right. Adoption of the technology without the use of the coin, it's nothing than just a pure speculative play. And it's just going to be narratives. But what's going to drive it is people, is companies, sorry, not people, institutions. And now one of the things we know, I've been in tech a long time in business, it's always about cheaper, better. Bottom line solutions. What gets me the fastest, cheapest, better solution at the lowest cost? And if XRP, or I should say Ripple, can prove that their solution can allow businesses and entities to operate together, low friction, reduce payment costs, whatever it is they want to use, and use the technology to do that, the token, then they're gonna, that's where they're gonna be able to grow the coin appreciation. If not, you're right. It's just gonna be a dead place. So that's what we have to wait and see. And the only thing that has me a little bit positive is they went out and they said, okay, we got stopped in the US, and they went and planted a bunch of seeds all throughout the globe, right? They got 40 countries using their technology. So we'll see. We'll have to see how that plans out. If they don't have the best technology, you're right. At the end of the day, they're ultimately going to probably end up losing. And not
absolutely. And to round up my thoughts on this is why XRP is not a worthwhile investment, in my opinion, because even if you are looking to make a 3 to 6x realistically from XRP, well, is there a project that can still perform the same amount of returns easier, if not more? Now, obviously, it's not going to be as safe as XRP. You won't have that safety. But you don't come into crypto for safety.
That's right. Well,
It depends
on the investment.
Lie, Jenna. You didn't come into it for safety.
I did, and then I didn't make money. And then I wanted the gems because I said, this sucks.
Look, the point is, right, understand what the project's going to give you in terms of returns realistically. It's okay if you believe it could do more. For example, I tell people, well, look, realistically, this could do a 30x, but optimistically, it could do anything. It could do 100x, could do 200x, 300x. I don't know. At the end of the day, all I can do is analyze the elements that make it perform well. But understand it's going to do something less. If it does more, okay, fine. Reap the rewards. Again, I'm not saying XRP is bad technology. I'm just saying a great project isn't always a great investment. And that is something we all need to understand. A great project isn't always a great investment. XRP may be great. I'm not saying it is, but it may be great, right? But that doesn't mean I'm going to invest into it because, again, it's not the best investment. It really isn't.
Yeah. If you're looking to maximize your dollars, I totally get you. You're going to be looking at the lower caps.
Not even the lower caps. Look, I'm very fond of projects such as Casper and Injective. They're both at $1 billion in market cap. Yes. I got into Injective and I'm up, I think, around 15x on Injective.
Oh my God, that just blew up.
Just skyrocketed.
At the end of the day, who's it backed by? Strong financial institutions.
Yep.
So will it do more than a 36x? Yes. Is it risky? Of course it's risky. But again, high risk, high reward. So that's my take on it all. That's my take on it all.
Yeah. I think, Jen, it comes down to the different kind of strategies and what you believe in ultimately at the end of the day in your risk portfolio and how you want to handle it. And, and you're right. The narratives, I think earlier on when these coins came out in 2018, there were a lot less of them. And some of them really took it by storm. And I think there's a lot of people hanging on to some of those narratives. I think that's part of it too. I don't disagree with that. And I think Ripple is one of the few that is really everybody's hanging on. And people feel like it was held back. And I think people feel like, okay, it's going to do something more. Now, the question is, are the big boys who really drive the markets going to leverage the play? That's what we're going to find out. We're going to find out how they want to pump this thing, how high it's going to go. And there's one different thing we have this time than we didn't have last time. If we do get a BTC ETF, if that comes into play, and I'm curious what you think, Seth, but what I've been saying is I think that's going to drive a huge amount of liquidity into this market. Maybe liquidity, to the degree that we've never seen. But we had about an additional $2 trillion that came in the last bull run. We were about $3 trillion total market cap. The question is, do we get even higher than that? And if we do, then a high tide raises all boats, and that's where you may get. You may, like you said, 3 to 6x. You may even stretch to a 10x if we get an additional amount of liquidity that we've never seen before because of all the institutional money that's sitting on the sidelines that may come into Bitcoin. I think that'll then legitimize what I've been thinking. My theory is the Bitcoin ETF will legitimize crypto because they'll be synonymous. CNN will be talking on TV. Fox will be talking on TV. Everybody and their mother will then, who calls us idiots right now and says we're retarded for investing in crypto, and they say it's a scam, and I can't believe, Johnny, you're in that scam thing. But 2 years from now, they'll all be saying, oh my God, I wish I got in earlier, right? You know this is coming. I think when that happens, that opens the floodgates, and we see a lot larger than a $3 trillion market cap industry. And if it grows bigger than that, I think, those guys up front, in the top 10 are still going to benefit. And that's where I think you'll get it. You could potentially see a 10x. Now, is it sustainable? I don't think so. But could you get it and get in and out quick with an exit plan? Yeah. But you're right. There'll be other better plays. But I still think this one still has some potential. But it depends on just what you want to ride and what narratives you believe in.
Yeah, so great points there. I'll give you my thoughts on it very simply. One thing that I say to people is stop with this idea that institutions and smart money are going to pump our bags. Stop this idea, because spot ETF is going to be approved. Yep. But are they going to be buying on exchanges? No, they're not going to be buying on exchanges and pumping our bags. Of course not.
No,
they're not going to be buying at higher prices. You think we're getting in before them?
They're already in. They're already in.
Exactly.
They're already in. That's why they're going to pump the shit out of it.
Yeah. Look, the spot ETF isn't going to lead, in my perspective, to a significant, huge increase in terms of the fact that the spot ETF is going to bring it in. But what it can do is act as a catalyst for more general investment into crypto. So more people put their money into crypto this time because it's more legitimate.
Correct.
It's been approved.
Correct.
We're not really going to just see institutions dumping more money into the market because of spot ETF. It makes no sense. They'll be buying. They're not going to be buying on exchanges. They're not going to be pumping our bags. They're already bought, realistically.
They're already in.
So it's not like they're going to pump our bags per se, because doesn't really work like that, but it will lead to a general increase in the market. But what I will say in regards to XRP is, again, we have to be as realistic as possible in regards to the market cap and in regards to how many times more from all-time high market cap. Well, if we're expecting it to go to, I don't know what dollar you guys, what dollar are you guys expecting it to go to?
We talking about XRP?
Yeah, XRP. How high are you guys expecting it to go to?
In the next bull run?
Just in terms of like dollar amount, because I use market cap, not price, but I'll convert it.
So I've been saying on the air, I think anywhere between $3 and possibly $10. Maybe,
$10 at the highest. Okay.
Maybe 10 max, 12
Okay.
max, maybe. If we get a crazy super pump, you're talking
14x. Okay.
I think it will get up to, let's see, right now we're sitting at 36 billion.
So $500 billion of market cap you're predicting XRP to reach this bull run.
Low probability on that one.
$500 billion. So basically the market cap of Bitcoin at the moment.
I'm going to say 200 billion close to ETH, and that would put it close to the $10 range.
So you think $10 XRP? So $500 billion XRP.
No, it would take like the current market cap of Ethereum now would put XRP at like $10. So yeah.
Because XRP right now is at $0.68. $10 divided by 0.6 is 14.7. Yeah. 14.7 times the current market cap, which is 36 billion, but at 529 billion.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's Bitcoin's. Yeah, that's Bitcoin's market
Bitcoin.
cap.
So XRP is going to reach Bitcoin's current market cap.
I didn't say that. I'm saying Ethereum's market cap of 220 billion, and that's high, but that puts it at the $10 valuation that I was thinking.
I think that would be $5.
It's $5.
Yeah, is it $5? I thought it was $10.
Which is why I've always thought 3 to 7.
7x. 7x XRP. That's more reasonable. Still too optimistic though. But yeah, okay. To answer you guys' questions about the ETF. So this I'll say it simply because I was going over the place before. So first thing we need to understand is we're not getting our bags pumped, by these institutions. We're not buying in before them. Get this idea out of your mind that we're getting in early and they're not, and they're going to pump our bag. First of all.
Correct. They're already in.
Yeah, exactly. Number two, they're not buying on exchanges, meaning they're not going to put the money in and pump out bags. They're not buying at market value.
No.
That's number two you need to understand.
That's right. Number
three is the spot ETF will, of course, lead to more money flowing into crypto. But when? Because you have 2 years until the height of the bull market.
Yeah.
Is there going to be a significant increase in the money flowing into the market from now and the next 2 years from the point of the approval that would have a significant effect on the amount of money flowing into this bull market in general? Because you have to understand, more money is going to flow into this market regardless of the ETF. Maybe potentially 2x the amount. What a lot of people expect it to do. So will it not be 2x this time? What is it going to be? What effect will the spot ETF actually have on the amount of money flowing into the market at this point? Of course, it's going to have an effect, but I don't think it's going to have an effect to the degree in which people think. I think it's just going to change the sentiment that allow people to invest more money into crypto. You'll have more people investing into crypto in general. But what you also need to understand is crypto is more popular ever. Now, crypto is more popular now than it has been ever. Every single cycle just gets more popular. More and more and more and more people know about it. So it's very, very hard to judge what will be the actual factor for the significant increase in money into crypto, because people didn't know about it. People know about it. More people know about it. Everyone now knows what at least the word crypto is or Bitcoin is. So more people are knowing about it, and more people are going to know about it now. And that's going to be an effect in regards to the amount of money coming into crypto. Then people see the spot ETF. Oh my God, it's legitimate. There's an ETF about it. Go on the stock market. It's just going to be all elements to change the sentiment that will allow more money to flow into crypto in general. So,
but I also bet that people never thought like 1 trillion would ever flow into Bitcoin. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think with the regulatory clarity and everything of XRP and dealing with the banks and everything that they're doing, I don't know. I still believe that it could happen. Call me crazy. I don't care. I don't care. But it's slow and steady. It's fine. It's fine.
Seth, think about it this way. So what's going to happen is once it legitimizes it, first of all, there'll be whatever money was going to come into this market will come in. Now, and we had now, of course, we had an advantage in 2020 because the feds were turning on the printing presses and we had a ton of money being spread, right? Printed. I don't think we're going to get that this cycle. I don't think we're going to see the Fed turning on the printing presses and have an extra $2 trillion floating around for people to dump in. Although Larry Fink says there's about $1 trillion that the Fed is ready to pump next year. Okay, so maybe if that's out there, some of that flows into it. But what I think will happen is once the BTC ETF gets approved. Now, remember, BlackRock's already in. They already bought their Bitcoin. They own 115,000 Bitcoins, and they bought them at 15,000 and under, right? They also own all the miners, or a good chunk of the miners. So they are really, really set to go. They're very incentivized to drive the price up as high as possible for Bitcoin in this industry as a whole. When that BTC ETF comes in, we've already heard institutions saying, we got 1 or 2% on the sideline, we'll dump it. But what's going to then happen is they start getting on the phone, they start calling the brokers, and then guess what? All those funds start driving everybody's 401k plans. People start seeing legitimate, and all that money starts flooding in. And I think that, so it isn't going to be the institution that's going to be buying it, but they're going to drive all their clients into the ETFs. Hey, put some of your 401k into BTC, right? Those are the kinds of phone calls. They're already gearing them up. They're already got them all. They're giving them the talk sheets and everything, all the sales teams on the BlackRock side of what to say to their clients to get them to go into crypto. And I think that's what's going to drive some of the money into the Bitcoin and drive the price of it up. I don't believe it's going to be the institution.
People investing into the ETF. If someone invests into, are you suggesting that if someone invests into the ETF, that's going to have an increase in price of Bitcoin?
Well, remember, so when they buy, they have to buy the underlying asset of that ETF, right? So they have to buy the Bitcoin. So as they're buying Bitcoins and you get more money flooding into that ETF, you don't think that's going to have an effect on driving either the price of Bitcoin up or driving people into Bitcoin per se, retailer to go drive that? You don't think that's going to drive?
I think an ETF will allow for more adoption of Bitcoin in general because there's going to be a larger acceptance as Bitcoin is being legitimate.
Yes, exactly.
That's what I said about sentiment. It affects sentiment.
Yes, and that's what was missing the last time around, right?
Spot ETF is going to be a catalyst potentially towards the start of this bull market. There's always a catalyst each cycle.
Exactly.
It could be a catalyst this cycle. But again, I think it's just going to be sentiment being changed. People understand crypto is more legitimate. They're going to throw much more money into this cycle. And then obviously the general increase, also increase in awareness of the market in general. I just don't think, because if someone invests into the spot ETF, they're not then buying Bitcoin at that money, then it therefore increases in value. That's not what happens.
That's correct. That's right. It just goes.
And also, they're not buying in exchanges, so they're not going to pump our bags.
Right. No, but the point of the legitimization of BTC as a whole and crypto as a whole, people will then flood into Bitcoin, whether it's 100%. Going into the ETF or going into Bitcoin itself, and then flowing out of Bitcoin and into the altcoins. I think you're going to see a huge halo effect that'll come and drive the whole market up. And I think we're going to have a bigger pile of money coming in because of the legitimization of this industry, right? Before you didn't have SEC blessing or approval. Now you do. And I think that's a huge game changer for the industry and drives it way beyond $2 or $3 trillion that we got the last time.
Yeah, I'm in full agreement. Yeah, that's what I said before as well. We're in agreement there. At the end of the day, it affects the sentiment. That's the one thing I don't want people to believe is that we're going to have bags pumped by this Bitcoin ETF because they're about to buy Bitcoin in exchange.
So when I say that, I mean it indirectly, right?
Yeah,
so I think we're saying the same things because I believe it'll have the same effect. It's just an indirect effect rather.
Yeah, you're suggesting that once they buy the ETF, well, there has to be an underlying asset towards that. Therefore, it continues the cycle of it.
Correct. Yeah, and then you've got, and that's what's going to happen. And then this person is going to tell that person, and then it's going to feel safe. And then CNN's going to be talking about it's legitimate, blah, blah, blah. And everybody's going to start, I got to get into this crypto. And then people are going to start FOMOing in. And right now, as you know, there's only 5%. 5% of the globe is invested in crypto right now. That's it. It's a very, very small number.
That's definitely not even a true number. It's much lower than that in reality.
I've seen a globe. Right? The latest research I saw was 5%, 4.8% of the world is invested in crypto. So that's a very tiny number. And if you look at the world, that was research out of. Have you seen that research?
1 in 20 people. That's ridiculous. I refuse to believe that. Less people know about crypto than that.
Well,
Surely.
the research I have or I've seen that's out there is 4% of 4.5, like I said, 5% of the world who's investing in
Ridiculous.
crypto.
Wow.
So now, and then I also did a little additional research looking how much of the world is invested in stocks. 55% of the world is invested in stocks. So if you got 5% invested in crypto and up to 55 in stocks, now I don't think we're ever going to get from 5 to 55, but my point is there's still a lot of upside potential of people that are going to be flooding into this market. And I'll share some data with you that I have that shows it's just a study. You can find them online. There's a couple of them out there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm curious about that study because I'm sure
Now, let me
it's
pull it
going to
up while
be
you're- Go ahead.
Bitcoin rather than altcoins. If you ask the same question about altcoins, it's probably going to be 0.1% of the population. I wouldn't be surprised. Because 5%, that's 1 in 20 people. It's crazy. Interesting. You can send it to me after this live stream.
Yeah. I'll send it to you later. I'll send you the study, the statistics I have in it, and the data. I wish I could find that report, but it showed. Yeah, I'm gonna have to find it. But yeah, it was a very interesting. It was fascinating because there is again, and maybe that seems like a high number to you, but still 4%. It's not a lot. I still, most of the world is not in the space yet, and I think there's a lot to come in, and I think that's going to drive this industry as well. But it's not going to happen until the industry, until people feel it's safe. And I think that the catalyst, the trigger, the linchpin for that is going to be the BTC ETF. In my opinion, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. There's loads of different perspectives. There's loads of different roads you can go down because you could even argue to a certain extent that the regulation may cause a negative outcome in certain countries in regards to crypto, because one of the main reasons crypto is adopted in a lot of countries, especially third world countries, is due to the unregulated aspect of it. People in Africa can just buy in. It's not regulated by the government. Once it gets regulated by the government, it's going to be very hard for them to buy in. So again, there's positives and negatives to regulation, but I'm in full agreement with you. The spot ETF is going to have an effect this cycle. It's going to cause people to increase their investment into crypto more than they would have last cycle. And it's going to draw more attention to crypto in general as well.
100%. 100%. We're totally in agreement there. And I think that's really the benefit of being in crypto. I tell everybody, I tell them all the time on the show, we're in crypto so early, it feels like we're late because we've been in it for so long. But we're just at the beginning of this thing. We're almost like, I don't know, 1997, 1998 before we had the internet boom, I feel. So I just feel there's so much potential. And now what it comes down to is what you were talking about earlier, finding the best investments, the best places that have the most upside potential. No question about it. And doing that research and understanding that and where we're headed. And, and then it's like I tell everybody is you don't want to just have one horse in this race. You want to have multiple, like you want to have a stable of horses back there and a bunch of them because you don't know which one of these are going to win. And you only need a few because there's a lot of them that are going to be loaded. And like I said, look at Amazon.
Diversification is very important.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm quite curious, guys. Jenna, what is your top 5 cryptos? Both of you.
Okay, you're not gonna like this. Let me see. So, top 5 by dollar value is XRP, and then I have XLM, and then Filecoin, which I know what XRP does, XLM does, but don't judge me. Filecoin, AVAX, and God, I don't know. It's either like XCC or SHX. Listen, I know I was in the ISO 20022. So now
XRP.
So now I know they're like the same thing. But listen, now I'm like, okay, so I want a lot of these long terms, but I have an exit plan with them. But now I'm learning to trade a lot. And so the extra money that I'm taking from that, I'm putting into like these low market cap gems, right? So don't hate on me. I'm getting my strategy down. Like I had all the safe bets, like, because I thought ISO 20022 was the way. And I'm not saying that it's not. Like I still love these tokens that I hold, but I want the lower market cap ones. That's why I like SHX, and that's why I'm looking into like the GameFi and all of that. And like Plays app, like Crypto Archie turned me on to that. But that's like I don't hold very much of that, but just enough. And looking into the ones that you're talking about, because I definitely want to add a really nice position to those going into the bull run. I'm not going to get caught with my pants down. But don't judge me. I know that I have a conservative portfolio, and I know that that is not a 100x portfolio. I'm aware. Listen, I am aware. and don't want to hear it.
You should look into a project called Arweave instead of Filecoin, in my perspective. Obviously, I can't provide financial advice, but Arweave fundamentally is much stronger than Filecoin. You should look into that one.
Which one is it? Airweave?
Arweave.
Arweave,
AR.
yeah. I've heard of that one. I think
Seems
I
kind of
traded it, but I
pointless
didn't know
to
what it
hold both
was.
XRP and XLM.
Listen, I know, because I know what one
If
does, the
XRP
other
doesn't
does.
do well, you think XLM
But
will do
here's
well?
the thing. Well, no, I think it'll hit maybe $1. It hit like 70-some cents like in
No, I mean, if
2021.
let's say XRP doesn't do well, will
No,
XLM not do well as a result of XRP not doing well?
it looks, I believe it'll still hit $1 in bull run. And I have an X amount with that, but I want to put that back for a long time. Like, that's like a 10-year plan. Like, I want to not even think about the
10-year
XLM that
plan.
I have, because listen, I think Jed, let me tell you something. I think Jed McCaleb runs the IT department for the Illuminati. So I'm going to hold that XLM for a long time, and you're not going to convince me otherwise.
Let me say one thing. I mean this respectfully.
I know they're the same thing.
No. Wait 1 second. I mean this respectfully, but having a 10-year plan is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
I know.
Crypto
But
is
listen,
most likely a bubble.
no,
Arguably, it's a Ponzi.
I have
Yes,
to
there could be some
arguably tell you
legitimate
you're
money coming
right.
into the crypto space, but at the end of the day, having a 10-year plan is ridiculous. Sell at the heights of the bull market.
No, but
Don't
listen,
hold
if
to the
I
depths of the bear market.
die, like my kids have to be able to get this and have something that's going to be around. Jed the Judas and Stellar are not going anywhere, right? So to me, that's safe money. So I'm going to put that away. But then I agree with you. I have stuff that I don't want to hold past this bull run, that I don't even want to hold past like a certain pump. So I totally agree with you. But I had a certain mentality whenever I was accumulating those things, you know what I mean? And then coming out of it. But I agree. But you know, like you said, it's safe. It's safe. And I believe though the XRP, like people say Bitcoin's hard money you can't fuck with. I believe that's gonna be XRP. I know you're trying to change my mind, but it's not
by XRP. Look, you can hold Bitcoin for 10 years if you really want to, but altcoins, I believe, is silly to hold for 10 years. Not because crypto, I don't know what this guy's on about. Not because crypto won't be around for 10 years. Just whether or not your altcoin will still be valued as high as it is valued now. You don't know that. Coins have gone to billions and then they've never gone to billions again. They've stayed at tens and 20s and 30s of millions. So holding crypto for 10 years, in my eyes, respectfully, I mean, is ridiculous.
I think XLM will be used in space
and reinvest in the bear market and then sell the height of the bull market again.
I agree, but I mean, I don't know. I think that I have ones that I'm gonna totally dump as soon as they pump. I'm not gonna hold very many altcoins again. I've learned my lesson. Take the gains and run, right? But there's some that I don't think I'm going to get a re-entry in 10 years of 8 cents and 7 cents on Stellar.
Really?
Fuck no. No, I don't. Absolutely no, I don't. I think that's going to be sitting at a couple bucks.
Do you think
and I think that's a great investment.
Do you think crypto is cyclical? Do you think we have bull markets and bear markets? Do you follow the 4-year cycle?
Yes, I believe that we have that, but it's also so new. And in 10 years, God only knows. And we're going to look at like tokenized assets and like just so much, like trillions and trillions of dollars literally coming into this. I mean,
do you think projects can invalidate the Bitcoin 4-year cycle in regards to like, we'll be at the heights of the bull market, expected to be Q4 2025, and then instead of it retracing and coming down, it'll just continue to go up?
No, what goes up comes down. What dumps pumps, what pumps dumps. I'm aware of that, but we're also making higher lows, and that's, you can't argue that. Like, we are.
We retraced 60% for Bitcoin. So if you sold at the heights,
I don't hold Bitcoin.
And then I'm just saying anything. Every single project retraced down 60 to 99%, meaning you could have sold at the top with your 100x.
It's
and then
but that's
lower.
Why you sell exactly. But that's why I'm not
all the way down with your millions of dollars going to hundreds of thousands, 50,000, 10,000 because you didn't sell at the heights of the bull market.
I hear what you're saying, but I'm never gonna sell like all my crypto and just be like out of it. That's not my style. It's not what I'm gonna do. Like it's just not me.
Understandable. This is my take on it. Very, very simply, you sell at the heights of the bull market, you buy back in the bear market. If we don't have bear markets anymore, it doesn't matter. We'll still have retracements. It may not all follow one cyclical structure, but projects will retrace after they pump. Therefore, we buy back in at the retracements. If you do want to hold cryptos very long term, you have to hold ones that we kind of know it is going to be around for a very long time. So you want the ones that can have the best chance to do
Exactly.
so.
And I believe the XLM will.
Right.
I mean,
Bitcoin, Ethereum, most likely, maybe XRP. But
dude, Judd
again,
McCaleb is not going anywhere. XLM is not going anywhere. And that's why I have the XRP too. Like, but you don't have kids, do you?
Value. Say money in the project.
Yeah.
Will they?
Yeah.
Because it's going to be better technology, better competitors, more regulated crypto. One's better for use cases in certain industries that come out over
there's going to
time.
be, of course.
Do
But
you think
if
it's going to
something
hold value
happens
for
to
10
me,
years?
yes, I do. Because of, okay, so Stellar's a nonprofit, right? They're building out, they're doing all this stuff in all these other countries. Like Judd builds out for the elites, but Judd's untouchable. And nobody can convince me otherwise with that. And I firmly believe that that will be around. I don't think that Stellar's going anywhere. I think it's totally an underdog, but I'm also not going to be like a moon girl right now. But I have kids, so I will leave that behind. You know what I mean? Like there are certain things that they're their wallets. If I go out and get hit by a bus, nobody's going to sit here trading here in 2 years, and they're not going to know when to get out of this and when to dump that. So I need to know that I have something solid that's going to steady grow, right? But I'm also not dumb enough to keep it in like a savings account that's not going to pay them shit, or a checking account. So I think that there's certain reasons why people invest in certain things. But now me, to make actual gains, that's why I want these crypto gems, but I know how to play them. Like there's so many people though that I hear every day. They're like, I'm never selling. Well, you've got to fucking sell. You've got to pay yourself. You've got to take profits. So like, while I'm not as risky as you are, like I think that's something that everybody has to get into, and it's market psychology, and you have to assess your level of risk. And I think that that definitely looks different for everyone. But I'm not saying like what you're saying is wrong, because I totally like respect the hell out of like everything, like all the alpha you're dropping and how you do it. So I guess it's just like you have to find what works for you and where you feel good, because otherwise like this shit will chew you up and spit you out.
Yeah, I think you made a good point there in regards to your kids. They don't know how to buy and sell. That's understandable. Locking it up away because they can't, know when to sell, when to buy. That's very understandable in my opinion. It's just a choice of projects is where I disagree. But that's just general disagreement in regards to projects in crypto. I just look for the things that I believe can hold the most value for long term.
So Seth, what are the ones that you like that you think have longer holding power?
Longer holding power, Bitcoin, Ethereum, maybe XRP, but apart from that, nothing.
Yeah, the rest of your. So let me ask you a question. I'm kind of under the, or more curious of wondering. So we've had these very consistent 4-year bull cycles, and I just got into crypto in 2021, so I'm new at it. I wasn't in the other prior cycles, but one of the things that feels very different to me in this time versus the prior ones is you have kind of like the whole world, the whole government now coming into it. You've got regulation coming into play. You've got BlackRock. You got the Bit Boys kind of taking this over now. So the original tech geeks who owned it or were in it, early on in the prior runs, kind of have lost control of it. Or I should say, the big boys are not going to adopt this thing like they have the stock market, and they'll manipulate the shit out of it. So I'm curious. Do you think moving forward, now that this is going to be maybe a more legitimized industry, that we lose the 4-year cycles? Do you see that going away and this becoming more of a more leveled out, say goodbye to the 100Xs and becoming more of a legitimate and consistent market, similar to the stock market play?
Yeah, great question. I get that question a lot, actually. One thing I will start off doing is separating the 100Xs from the cycle, because penny stocks exist. You can still make great returns of penny stock. There's always going to be cryptos doing 10Xs, 20Xs, 30Xs, 40Xs, 100Xs. That will always exist. Existing stocks will exist in crypto, but more exponential due to its nature of anyone around the world being able to invest into the crypto. Now, in regards to always following the 4-year cycle, what we need to understand is the 4-year cycle exists due to Bitcoin's dominance, but also exists due to manipulation. Look at the spot ETF.
Yeah.
They delayed
exactly. Literally, I honestly,
make it follow the 4-year cycle. So the question is, how much longer will Bitcoin remain dominant, and will the market makers decide to manipulate the market to follow the cycle? That's the real question here. But also, Bitcoin can have a 4-year cycle and altcoins can't. Meaning Bitcoin can just continue on its cyclical trend, but altcoin just won't follow. If
Okay.
this is the point about Bitcoin's dominance over the market, you could just have Bitcoin doing its cyclical, let's say, theory playing out, let's say, and then altcoins just be doing whatever altcoins do. And a good example to use is low caps. Before the halving, sort of Bitcoin's dominance, altcoins are meant to be bleeding, right? Well, guess what's happening? Casper's making Casper's doing a 250x. Projects like Viot doing a 50x. You have projects like Naka doing a 20x. If all these projects doing crazy x, well, it's not meant to do with altcoins. It's meant to do with Bitcoin dominance. Well, projects can exist and act independently of an overlying structure, which is Bitcoin. So once we see Bitcoin's dominance come down, not in regard to Bitcoin's dominance, then Ethereum's dominance, actually in general, the market,
In
it's
general,
control,
as a whole, you're saying, yeah.
right? Then potentially we could just see altcoins doing whatever altcoins want to do and act independently.
Yeah.
Because let's say you do see adoption by an institution. Well, if they decide to buy the tokens, whenever they decide to buy the tokens to adopt the platform, well, that can be anytime. So it can always follow its own path. It doesn't have to always follow this fundamental structure we have in place for the 4-year cycle.
Yeah.
That's kind of
That's kind of, I'm kind of in the similar camp there of going forward. And the other thing I always question too was, the real use of a crypto itself on the blockchain. For decentralization, it makes sense. But if you're a company and you're going to do a blockchain, why wouldn't you do your own private blockchain or use that? And what's the incentive of, why would I even need a coin other than if I want my company, let's say, to operate with other companies externally, then yes, I need some kind of transport, right? Maybe I need something that kind of communicates across the two. And then, yes, I need to have some kind of crypto or some kind of, whether it's a stable coin or something that I'm using to go across. But other than that, I've always kind of wondered, what is the true long-term value of the actual cryptocurrency, underlying cryptocurrency itself, other than in situations where it's decentralized and it's the incentive, to either provide staking or liquidity. What other value does it provide, right?
That's a great question. Now, again, the main use of a token is the decentralization aspect. Because if you're using a stable coin, well, that's not decentralized, is it?
No, exactly. If you're a company,
so exactly.
Why do you need right?
A digital asset to transact people for validating and maintaining the network, essentially. And you need to be decentralized. So that's why they all have their own token. The question is, why does every project feel the need to build their own blockchain? That's the issue here.
Because they're greedy.
This many tokens if everyone just decided to build on a few blockchains.
Right. That's all that's why I think at the end of the day, there's only going to be a few that matter, or a few that, and Ethereum is probably going to be, because it's so ingrained and so early on, it's going to be hard to rip that out of the system when it's already, the foundation, if you will, of what we have.
Exactly.
In my opinion,
that's my point about the fact that if we actually look at what blockchains are actually being utilized, Ethereum, the Binance Smart Chain, Matic, and Arbitrum, basically everything else isn't really being utilized to that high of a degree.
Maybe
but they are, of course, being utilized, but not to the same extent.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great question. What I say is most projects could probably just be applications on existing blockchains, rather than creating their own infrastructure. But look, at the end of the day, that's why we just need higher quality infrastructure projects to exist for a long amount of time. And then suddenly people will just stop building on their own chains and decide to build on the existing chains. It just takes time. For example, we don't really have a fundamental gaming blockchain that exists. Once that's in place, people will no longer decide to build on their own, blockchain.
Correct. They won't have to.
They're going to be going over to build on these existing chains that exist. So it just takes time.
So I got to ask you about two segments. I'm curious. So for the audience here, what your favorite plays are. So segment number 1, interoperability. Are there any plays that you like there? Quant, Link, Adam, what do you like in the interoperability area?
I think interoperability is a false narrative. I don't really think interoperability independently will cause a project to do very well. I think it's more of a facade than anything. It's a selling point of a crypto, but it's not enough. It's not like AI. You slap AI on a website, the project's going to do well.
That was segment number 2, so I'm going to get to that one in a minute.
Slap interoperability, I don't think it's enough to make projects do well, but Chainlink, I like Chainlink. If we're going to be talking about high caps here, I think Chainlink is one that does it very well, but yeah.
So if you were to invest, that would be the one you'd be looking at.
I wouldn't invest based on interoperability. I don't think it's enough to. I'd invest into Chainlink in general, but it wouldn't be because of interoperability.
Okay, got it. And then what about
a factor that's strong enough to cause? For example, put it this way: You invest because someone may invest because they see AI. That generates hype. AI futuristic.
Of course.
Someone may invest because they see play to earn. No one's really investing because they see interoperability. It's just a buzzword. Doesn't mean that much.
Yeah. To me, so play to earn, I think, is huge. I'm not going to go there because you talked about a lot of opportunity. I love play to earn. One thing as I started learning is, do you know, you probably know this, do you know how big the gaming industry is, the market?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Huge.
$300 billion. It's bigger than the movie industry. That's how big it is. And so that's why I love play to earn. I love this space. And anybody, I think that's where one of the biggest opportunities are here in crypto, is investing in those spaces, because I know kids, right? Kids are going to want to play to earn, sit at home, play games, and make money. Who wouldn't want to do that? And any narrative that feeds that, I think, is going to be huge. The other question I have for you, though, this segment, is AI. If you think about AI, right, there's so much talk about AI, and that's probably, I think, going to be the big. If you look at the last kind of champion or pump, if you will, in the last boom, it was the metaverse. You heard a lot about it. Even the company changed the name, right? Went to Meta, and the metaverse was the theme. I think this one's going to be AI. I'm curious, what are your favorite AI? Any AI picks that you love, or that you say, like, yeah, I got to have a couple of these horses in my stable?
Yeah, great question. Now, first of all, why was the metaverse a trend? I'm going to show you guys something that'll probably blow your mind. But if you look at the charts, the reason the metaverse projects went parabolic was solely due to Facebook turning into Meta.
Correct.
If you look at the 28th of October, that is when
that was the
chart
trigger
started to shoot up.
That was the linchpin.
So ChatGPT is what caused the AI trend earlier this year. ChatGPT was huge. You saw it everywhere. Everyone was talking about it. The news has been integrated.
1 million people in 5 days signed up, right?
Exactly. That external influences, external factors can cause an internal influence in the market. It's what I say.
Yep.
So the question is, will we have something like this again in the next 2 years to catalyze an AI trend? And because AI is ever growing and ever developing, I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe so. But in regards to my favorite AI projects, it's a very hard question, because I'm going to be honest, even though I got into many of the best AI projects and made 10 to 50x with them this bear cycle, there isn't that many good AI coins. There really isn't. I know them all. I could talk about every single one, but they're not really that good as a whole. BitInsol Tau, or BitInsol ticker is Tau. That one is pretty decent. Think of it as an infrastructure for AI. If you want to develop AI on chain, on an infrastructure that's not a layer 2 built on Ethereum, for example, it would be through BitInsol. It's coined itself as the Bitcoin of AI, because the more systems that develop on it, the more value the token has. So BitInsol is one that I am fond of. One that many people know is Singularity.
What's the symbol
Tau.
on that? Tau. T-A-U?
T-A-O.
Okay, T-A-O. Okay, cool. So
Yeah.
that's one. Okay.
One that many people are fond of in the crypto space is called Singularity Net. I'm sure you guys know what Singularity Net is. Developed by Ben Goertzel. Now, the reason Singularity Net is so popular partly comes down to Ben Goertzel. Ben Goertzel is a genius in the AI space. He's been on the Joe Rogan podcast, the Lex Friedman podcast.
Okay.
You can go watch him. Ben Goertzel.
That's AGIX, right? You're talking about AGIX?
Yeah, AGIX. Yeah. Ben Goertzel and Hanson Robotics developed the Sophia robot. The Sophia robot is utilizing AGI technology, artificial general intelligence, similar to human level intelligence. The Sophia robot actually got citizenship in Saudi Arabia. It's ridiculous. That just shows you the extent of
yeah. I remember when they were doing that about 4 years ago. They were showing.
How can a non-living thing get a citizenship?
Because the Sophia robot is such a high degree of technology.
Yeah,
it's the best. I think it's the most humanoid robot in the world.
I've
seen her, and her expressions honestly scare me. Like, that thing looks like it would.
And you should see what she says when they take off the security, when they take off the plaques. What they really can say of how they can overcome humans. But anyway, we'll save that for another episode.
Oh God.
But Singularity, I love that one. Singularity Net, that's one of my favorite.
Yeah, so Singularity Net they have an AI marketplace, but they also have an infrastructure where you can develop AI systems as well. That's why they have many ecosystem tokens. Beautiful. Underneath Singularity Net, there's many projects such as Singularity DAO, which is a DeFi protocol utilizing AI, so crypto portfolio management, yield farming. It's a launchpad as well. You have other projects such as Cogito, which ties into RWA. You have other projects such as Rejuve, which is a biomedical science AI cryptocurrency. You can earn rewards based on providing medical data. You have other projects such as the Sophiaverse, which is a gaming metaverse through Sophia. And she's actually
that
Sophia
could
the
be a
robot
big
is
one.
actually the CEO of Sophiaverse, which is quite funny.
Jesus, you know, that's funny.
But yeah, there's many different projects built on the Singularity Net ecosystem, and they should all do well this cycle. But in my perspective, the ecosystem of Singularity Net is a better investment than Singularity Net itself.
Interesting.
Because Singularity Net's been around since 2018. Fun fact: no AI project has been to $1 billion in market cap ever.
Yeah, this will be
which is very hard. Yeah, which is why I find it very hard to predict, because I like to use comparisons. I don't like to just throw out random numbers. I like to use comparisons. And no AI product's ever gone to $1 billion in market cap. But I do believe this cycle we are going to see AI really do take off. But yeah, Singularity Net, great project. Not the best investment, but the ecosystem is a much better investment in my opinion.
Interesting. What do you think of all the common ones you hear, like Fetch and Graph and Ocean?
Yeah, so
all overplayed, or what's your thoughts on those?
Fetch is a funny one because if you look at the search volume of Fetch, it's nowhere near as much as Singularity Net, and that's because of all the paid promotion. I believe Fetch AI just paid a bunch of influencers to promote it, and that's why it's being shielded so much. Because you look at the volume of searches, no one's searching it in comparison to Singularity Net, yet they are the same market cap. Anyways, Fetch is okay. Again, it's an infrastructure that utilizes AI, but it's not going to do as well as an investment as the other ones.
No, I mean, as an investment. What about the Graph? I hear about that one a lot.
The Graph is an API or is an indexer. I don't consider it AI myself. Okay. They may utilize AI technology.
They bucket it in there. Yeah,
it's just like how you can slap on AI to anything. I don't really consider it AI. It's an indexer through an API. That's what it is. It's meant for like Web3 development. Yeah. I don't really consider it AI myself. This is what I say to people. Two things if it's AI. One, if you remove AI, does the project still exist? If it doesn't exist, then it's an AI project.
Yeah.
Two, if it performs when AI projects perform. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter our opinion. It matters what the market determines. Sure. And if it performs with AI projects, then whether we like it or not, it's an AI project. So that's the two ways to perceive it as being AI in my perspective. But AI, Bit and Saw, that's a good one. There's one called Ori Chain, which is also okay. There isn't that many. I'm going to be honest. There isn't that many.
Yeah, not big on that one. Okay. That's
one that I will feel comfortable saying at least.
Yeah. That's fair.
Because there's loads. There's Viot, such as an AI assistant. Ori Chain's an AI infrastructure and an AI oracle. You have Open Fabric AI, that's an AI marketplace. You have Demetria, which is agriculture, aiming to increase yield, reduce cost. They utilize AI, IoT devices. There's so many different AI cryptos, but there isn't that many good ones in my opinion.
Okay, fair enough. Well, Jenna, you've been going 2 hours, so I could talk to Seth all night. So I don't want to.
You gotta get him on Good Morning Crypto.
I'm definitely gonna get Seth on Good Morning.
No, this has been super awesome. Like, it has been controversial. It has been informational, extremely educational. I've learned a lot, and this is why I'm here. Like, this is the best part about the space that we're in, and like, I appreciate you coming on, Seth, and of course Johnny like coming up, and I love it because I get to learn from you guys, and that's what it's all about. It's like, I just want to make the best moves possible, especially like going into this bull run, because I understand that there's opportunities in the market every single day, but it's just being able to identify and figure out like what is going to work. And we're so lucky to be here during the bottom of the bear. And I know people think it's shitty and it sucks. And now going into this bull run, like, we have so much opportunity. It's absolutely disgusting. So I just want to make sure that I get to be part of it. So I do. I appreciate you, Seth. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I appreciate you guys for having me on here. Anytime you guys want me on, you can drop me a message and I'll come on anytime. I'm very available to have these conversations, especially when we disagree. Disagreement is healthy. Disagreement is good. It's good to be challenged on your beliefs and opinions. You don't want to be in an echo chamber, which is very, very important, which I see a lot of in crypto.
That's absolutely right. Debate is what made our countries great. And keeping those are healthy, having good, healthy discussion. It's okay to disagree, but more importantly, the reason why it's so important is you share ideas at the end of the day. And you may, someone may say something, you look at it and say, oh yeah, you know what? I didn't think about it that way. And, you know, many times I've thought one thing and talked to other people like, you know what, I'm going to change my mind. That's the beautiful thing about being human. You can make that decision, right? As you learn more input, more data, you start to look at things differently. And so I think that's the value of having these conversations. And what's great is we come together as a community, because you said it earlier. The big boys aren't here to pump our bags. If we don't help each other and try and put ourselves in a position to win, we certainly know who ain't going to help us, right? So we're the only chance we have is to try and help each other. And that's why we do these shows and we have these chats and try to share ideas out there. So really appreciate you sharing some of your thoughts as well as some of your big plays. I think it's awesome, you know, and you know, let's hope we can all put some of these horses in our stable, and someday we'll be hanging out together, have a nice couple of drinks on the island somewhere.
Yeah, if you guys come to Dubai anytime, I'll gladly welcome you guys. I'll leave you guys with one thing. This is what I'll say is, don't think anything is random in crypto. There's always reasons for everything.
Correct.
Don't think a project just pumps for the sake of pumping.
Correct.
Don't fall for simple arguments like community. Things really break down into other aspects that will make it perform well. There's fundamentally strong projects and there's unfundamentally strong projects. And there's different elements you can break down a project to assess its performance or potential performance. So I'll leave you with that. At least that's my take on it. I appreciate you for having me on the show.
I love it. Thank you so much, guys. And thank you everyone in the live chat. I appreciate, you know, all the interaction, being here and your support and everything like that. And I am going to close this out. Hey guys, I dropped a link in the chat. Johnny's worked really, really hard on his baby. It is called Merlin Crypto Tracker. And I'm going to leave you with a little information about Merlin. I dropped my link below, but you can get a 30-day free trial. Exit plans are important. If you're not a day trader, swing trader, and you have, you know, you're trying to figure out your strategy for the bull run, do not get caught with your pants down, guys. Love you. Peace out.
Have you gotten wrecked in the crypto market space or watched your crypto portfolio go all the way up and then all the way down without taking profits? If so, it's probably because you didn't have an exit plan. The good news is that doesn't need to happen anymore thanks to a new and innovative crypto tracker called Merlin. It's the smartest way to track your crypto. Merlin brings all your coins into one place so you can see all your assets across the different exchanges on one screen. You can see your total portfolio value and, more importantly, your daily gains, losses, and totals since inception. Merlin puts the power back in your hands so you no longer have to guess what your portfolio is doing on a daily or monthly basis. Most importantly, Merlin lets you create an exit plan and sends you notifications when your targets are reached so you no longer have to get wrecked in the marketplace. Go to merlincrypto.com, that's merlincrypto.com, and sign up for our free 30-day trial and get on the wait list so you can receive an email when the product is launched. Don't miss out on this new and innovative app, Merlin. It's the smartest way to track your crypto.